Betty.
Rattering bam.
I'm a wild Black Betty.
Mattering bam.
Black Betty had a child.
Battering ma'am.
I'm the damn thing gone wild.
Battering ma'am.
I'm said a word, not a mind.
Battering ram.
I'm the damn thing gone blind. Bam, a lamb, a wild Black Betty.
Rattering bam.
I'm a wild Black Betty.
Mattering bam.
Black Betty had a child.
Battering ma'am.
I'm the damn thing gone wild.
Battering ma'am.
I'm said a word, not a mind.
Battering ram.
I'm the damn thing gone blind. Bam, a lamb, a...
All right, Heather, I'm going to record one more song for you before I go. This one's a little bit of a long one. Here we go. Oh, I got to turn that shit off. That's thunder, lightning. Damn, that sounds real wet. You got an umbrella? In the UK, they call that shit a brawly. Oh shit, what song is this, Heather? Off the top of the head. No ad libs. No notes. Here we go. Make that Heather music. This is the Dramatics. 1970 something. Here we go. My dad used to play this shit. My daddy immigrant. Since you want to talk crazy on immigrants, I'm gonna clown your ass. I'm gonna drag you to hell and back, Heather. Here we go. You and that motherfucker, Xavier. You finna go outside in the rain. You definitely talk crazy. You definitely talk crazy, Heather. You finna go outside in the rain. You going to live outside, Heather. Ah, shit, this ain't the instrument. Let me find an instrumental real quick.
And now, our feature presentation.
Hello guys, what's going on? Look, I'm back, and there's all the festive stuff, but in horizontal mode. There's no vertical mode anymore for Feral Friday. I did not edit, I think, any of those. Loco Coco did the that like boom, boom, that super crazy one, and then Heather edited that last one herself. She's crazy. She's crazy. There's like 2 hours of content Heather gave us this week. I'm hoping that it'll just work. I'm hoping it'll just work like this. And I'll have the live chat up for you guys too. And if not, then I can just do it through QuickTime. But we should be all right. I think we'll be okay. Cyborgs unite. Yeah. Exactly. All right. Let's. I just have to pull this like this, and we should be good.
I think that YouTube would benefit from a button where you could choose neither for children nor averse to children or adverse to children's consumption of whatever the content is, because there's totally tons of content that I wouldn't say is specifically made for children, but could have some crossover value.
Is it because she didn't realize she was making her videos made for kids? I don't think they are anymore. I can play them like while I'm searching for other videos, and you can't do that with made for kids stuff.
So that's always a confusing question for me at the beginning. Another confusing question for me that I always have to think about is,
like at the beginning of the live stream,
are you a robot? I mean,
it's not for you. So it's not for bots. It's for making sure bots aren't fucking. I haven't watched a lot of these. Is that all like this? Is she all? Man, I watched a lot of Boring Brook today, so this is refreshing.
that make you believe that there most certainly must be robot humans? Because otherwise, why would they ask? If no one is a robot, then why would they need to ask?
For the actual bots.
You know? And you guys heard my last thing about cyborgs. Cyborgs are actually kinds of robots, kind of. So, and depending on the implant or the prosthetic, are definitely robots. Anyways, this is supposed to be episode 6 of 12 or 5 of 12? 6 of 12.
Yeah, I don't even know what numbers we're on. Did we do, what was the live stream title last week? It was like parts 3 to 6. So this is 6 to 12. Yeah, we didn't do 6, I guess, last week. I thought we were going to, but she just did like a nothing thing. Ooh.
They have never been poor. They have never had the joy of a welfare Christmas. Ain't that the truth? All my problems could be solved with money.
At its day, super chatted $1.44. Looking handsome as always, Stevie smiling face.
Oh, thanks, you did. I appreciate you.
12.
Thank you for the 2.
We began to discuss the way that I spent my time after meeting Xavier. So the day was someday in June or July. I was dropped off at Walgreens on Ontario and Clark by an undercover officer with a Suburban with law enforcement plates on it and a badge. And I was with this person for about I would say a month. And the first 3 weeks,
I don't see any coffee table books. They're all teeth. They're all.
I spent.
There's some Christmas ones. Some nice Christmas ones right there. I appreciate. I can't see that name. I still can't see that name. Can you guys see the names? Can you guys even read that? I just see teeth and Christmas trees.
Living in this, and that's a guess. It could have been 3 weeks. But the first 3 weeks were spent living in this safe house called the Franklin Park Penthouse, is what I name all these places so that I can reference them later. It was a printing and paper shop that printed magazines, flyers, mailers, things of that nature. And did so in a factory style of setting, and then warehouse. And then the upstairs was like...
I don't have a Chanel beanie. I have a... I don't know what that is. Decane? I don't know how to pronounce that. Decane? This is the fanciest looking thing. I was thinking about that then. You're right. I was like, I can't do the Carhartt one. It's for Brooke. And Heather doesn't really have another hat other than this. I think when I was skimming through some of these to get a thumbnail, she was going on about how this is the only thing she has left in her life, which I swear she said she got it stolen last year.
A big conference room.
And then she'll sleep like guarding it. I've never heard this before, this stupid hat.
With a dry erase board, a ping pong table, an Xbox, some GoPro equipment and videography equipment, some other things for shooting podcasts, a fitness room, and like a server room. I literally slept on an inflatable mattress in the server room. Juan took me to buy clothing because all of my clothing, besides maybe like 3 outfits, had been stolen. And he replaced my belongings, most of them, not all of them. And
Juan did? That's nice.
And then randomly, about 2 weeks into me being there, the wife of the owner of the printing building, an Indian lady, or the alleged wife, came like to where I was, and she was with Juan, and Juan's like, we have to go. We have to find another place. They're using this place for something else. And I later found out that supposedly, she found out that I was shooting sexy content from 2015 or 16 to 2019, and that made her feel insecure about her husband going to work there.
Is this true? I don't know. Who the fuck is Juan? I don't remember Juan from any of her stories before. Loco Coco. Do you remember Juan? Also, you guys should sub to Loco Coco. Our channel's up top there.
With me being in
Juan.
like the upstairs area. So
I remember like her saying she slept in an office, then shout out to Alyssa's mom. And then being like, I'm not going to talk until you guys donate. Because Alyssa's mom had cancer or something. If you don't donate, it means you support cancer. And then I don't think anyone donated, but she ended up talking anyways. So it was a pointless strike.
all I'm thinking is like, okay, well, I just got raped last year after being unlawfully thrown out of my home. I went to the courts for protection and was denied an order of protection. But the person who was beating me up, choking me, stomping on me, you know, doing all this stuff, stealing my medications, giving me God knows what in the...
I was just asking. You shouldn't get ads in the middle of it. Oh, who Juan is? Who the fuck's Juan?
Place of the medication I was taking at the time, which was Adderall. And I've taken Adderall on and off since I was 17 years old. So 20 years already. And I'm not currently taking it. I haven't taken it regularly since Weston was born. I took it for 1 month, and it really didn't help. The manufacturer, I think, was trash because it wasn't working. It wasn't effective.
There was some shit Adderall? I don't know. I'm sure she's taken it since Weston's been born.
And I paid $175 for the doctor's appointment and then the prescription, or I owe the $175 because they took my insurance off in April of this year. But anyways, back to the point. So we're at this place and literally I'm under the impression that I'm there while like this master like path can be formulated. You know, like every single time one of these people would approach me and say that they were either an undercover officer or working for the authority or et cetera and so forth, I would feel like, and I've said this before and I'll say it again, I would feel like that was it. Like they finally figured out like who I was. It's me, Heather. Like I'm the real Heather. I could tell you all the tattoos I have. I could tell you my entire life story because I kept on getting.
Yeah, that's what everyone wants to know. It's like that's people have tried before and failed, but this is me and the real Heather. I can show my tattoos. Yeah, man.
Getting told that there were all these other
The
Heathers.
fuck?
Like, you know, doppelganger Heathers doing all of this shit with funding and budgeted money that was supposed to go towards resolving my situation. So my children were with their father's family a few blocks away from where I was staying, and I only got to see them twice. And it was to drop them off like hygiene supplies and some money and food. Not a lot of money, you know, 10, 20 bucks, whatever I had in my pocket. But that person also like pulled this thing where he left me at Rosemont Outlet Mall with all of my belongings, and I started freaking out and crying. And
that was one? Okay, I guess I do know him. I didn't know the guy's name. I think I told you guys about that, I don't know, a couple weeks back, I guess. I've brought him up before.
Had to file a police report for theft, and then he didn't respond to me for like a full like 18 hours, and then finally said that blamed it on his wife going into labor supposedly, but then she stopped going into labor and she wasn't going to labor. They just had to rest. The doctor
She only got it once since he was born. Okay.
Sent him home. And my thing is, that person who brought me to that place, the Franklin Park penthouse. Hold on a second.
How can I help you today?
This I've seen actually. I've seen Crazy Train posted it, I think. I think I don't think she pays for her thing. Pay attention. This is I don't know if it's important. It's kind of funny.
Hi, good morning. Can I please have two?
Just imagine if you're the person I guess I don't know if this is Starbucks or whatever. A person at the drive-through window giving Heather, I think it's coffee or some shit.
$6 meals.
Bacon, egg, and cheese plain bagel with hash browns. How would you like your coffee? Hot or ice?
For the bagels, do you guys have cinnamon?
You want both of them on cinnamon?
One cinnamon, one everything, please.
I didn't know that.
I know that's annoying. Thank you so much. And then for the coffees, one will be hot and black.
Medium hot black?
Yes, please. And the other one will be iced with pumpkin. A tiny
Iced pumpkin, is that cream and sugar?
Yeah, a tiny bit of cream. And can you put a little cold foam on top?
Just a little bit of cream for Xavier. We don't want him bouncing off the walls or anything. I don't know which one's for who. Heather said, sugary drinks are for children.
Sugar or no sugar?
Is it sweet?
She's mad one time, some butter or frappuccino.
Eat the pumpkin?
You want one pumpkin in it, right? It's gonna be a little bit sweet.
Yeah, you could add a little tiny bit more sugar.
And you said you want cold foam on it?
Please. And
okay.
that's all.
Any donuts today?
No, thank you.
Okay, we'll see you at the window. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
But yeah, so he brings.
Oh no, I don't like that. I miss Xavier's head. I think she brings him back. She brings him back. She was asking him questions at one point. The more Xavier, the better. Heather gets a little. By the end of these streams, I'm like, ooh.
Brings me to his house after the 3 weeks of being in the Franklin Park penthouse, and I meet his wife who's pregnant. We had no sexual relationship at all whatsoever. We were cool, but I'm thinking, every single.
Who's they? Could be anybody, man.
Single time it's like
anyone, man.
Some sort of solution is being presented. I'm thinking it's the last one that I'm gonna need. Like that this is gonna be the time when I finally get my house, my kids can come home, and I never have any like sort of regular communication or like plan. And I would literally spend my days there working. He has a roofing repair, reglando los techos. Todas las personas tienen que ir caminando a todos los calles, buscando.
I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
Buscando unos casas que tienen problema con su techo. Si hay una tormenta o está lloviendo o algo así, and your roof is leaking or the wind takes off one, ¿cómo se llama de esa cosa? Shingle. Then you need to.
You don't know the word for. You know what the word for shingle is in Spanish, but not English. What is she trying to do here? Who does she think she's fooling? The fuck is this? What the fuck is this? What is this, you guys? What the fuck? Heather's first language is English. It's fucking English.
To have your roof repaired. And the company that he owns works directly with your insurance, of your homeowner's insurance. And so they would hire and train sales teams, and he would do a lot of hiring in Spanish, and he had no literature in English. So he
she was just doing an impression of that guy who didn't know words? I thought is that what she was doing, or did she actually pretend like she didn't know words in English?
was having problems with some authorities locally, and I think he
Shingle
works nationally, because in order to do this nationally, all you need is one person on your team with a contracting license. And then you can just have everyone else, doesn't really need any formal experience or licensing. So I was going to do the administration, and sales. I'm great at both.
I might fall off the wagon by Christmas, honey.
At Xmuffin, super chatted $9.99. Thank you for keeping the holiday season feral. Keep the turn up going and buy yourself some duster and pancakes. Seriously, we appreciate you, Steve.
I think I actually just kept it pancakes. Thank you, Xmuffin. Thank you for the time.
Both of those things.
I appreciate you.
The administration is cuando te ves algo, you go to the house, you knock on the door, you say, hey, we want to set an appointment with a salesperson to come.
I guess I should have asked someone how much of this would be in Spanish, and maybe like hard code some transcripts in there somehow, but it's too late now. I'm surprised everything's working good. I shouldn't jinx that, actually. Everything's working bad.
You don't call them a salesperson. You say a roofing expert to come and, you know, look at your roof. I noticed from street level that it appears as though you're missing a few shingles, and we'd like to, you know, see what we can do for you. Most of the time our customers end up not having to come out of pocket at all, or maybe if they have a deductible, that would be the only out-of-pocket expense. Good morning. So, you know, can we set an appointment for a professional to come get up on the roof?
Bump Demon says she's got me with the Spanish. Fixing the roofs, they had walking. Oh, wait. Fixing the roofs, they had to walking door to door, asking if they need their roof repaired. She said it in a very bad Spanish. Okay.
Roof and look at it. And
I added extra words to that. So I made it sound like you typed that bad. I don't know why I said that Spanish.
Homeowner will either say yes or no. They'll give you a copy of their homeowner's insurance policy, and you'll already begin, just like in a doctor's office, if someone, you know, gets diagnosed with something and we have to do imaging, then schedule them for surgery, then have medical device representation, you get a copy of their insurance policy. That's what I did in my job at Northwestern, part one of the many responsibilities. And you have to look, okay, if they're going to be covered for this surgery, what diagnosis needs to be billed with it? Okay, what do we...
It's Trenches Girl now. I don't even know where Trenches Girl came from. Heather made up Trenches Girl.
We need to try preventatively or before the insurance will cover, you know, the surgery. And then you start making a plan for this patient that's going to be cost effective and convenient. So you find facilities and doctors that meet their insurance's, you know, requirements. You find all of this stuff for them and you plan it out. And it's the exact same thing with the homeowners, with, you know, billing. Oh, no, it's not a mobile order. It's $26. One of them has a everything bagel. One of them has a cinnamon bagel. A one hot coffee and one iced coffee with pumpkin and a little cold foam.
What is that noise? It sounds like... Maybe, I don't know. Maybe Heather. Maybe Xavier's playing a video game. It's like... I don't know. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but that's what it just sounds like. Someone's like tapping on the screen or something. You hear that? Am I crazy? Am I just? Maybe I'm crazy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Trying to get another truck. Yeah, maybe.
Get another card. It said decline.
Oh, let's see.
So here, she said your... I'm just bashing things now. She said your card was declined. Oh no, my cold. Declined.
I only have one card, so it shouldn't be declined, and I just transferred the money like a few seconds.
Why would she even look for another card then if she knows she only has one card, right? What was the point of that?
Ago. No, that's okay. I'll just pull it up right now. Let me just make sure it's not locked. I've had a lot of fraud on my accounts. There's a lot of losers and bums that like to steal from a single mother with 4 children. So I have to always keep my card on lock. So let me just make sure that it is. Thank you.
Imagine being this person right now. What would you think? Like, what would you think?
So much.
Be like, who's stealing from this single mother? So she can't get a coffee and bagels.
Yeah, no, the balance is there. Can you try again? Thank you. Yeah, that's really weird. So anyways, basically they just, where did I leave off? Oh yeah, they just go around selling to various homeowners.
What happened? Did she just drive off? Did she edit something out? What happened there? She just goes away and comes back. Suspicious.
The service of contracting, there's no catch up.
No, it declined twice. So I don't. Did she get Xavier to pay for it somehow? I can't see Xavier having a fucking credit card, right? Does Xavier have like a bank account? He should. He should have. Maybe Xavier paid for it.
Can I have ketchup? Can I have a ketchup, please? Like 3 or 4 of them. Thank you so much.
Now we're at a different place?
Sorry about that. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
I don't know what's going on.
So they offer contracting services to people to have their homes repaired, whatever's wrong with their home. And then they do so, pardon me, sir. And then they do so in a way that costs the homeowner the least. So whatever they can do to work out a low deductible, no deductible, or waive the deductible. And this person was basically only able to sell to people with like Spanish speaking households. He didn't really have the best English and was not doing a lot of sales to people in English. So I was translating all of his propaganda, what is what he called it. I called it marketing material. In Spanish, it's like closer to propaganda. And making his scripts, making his just doing everything.
It's all the rage. You don't put ketchup on your cinnamon bagel?
Like literally all of his administrative function. So basically, I'm thinking that my job search is over. I found another career that I'll be great at. I'm great at sales. I'm great at admin. And then that happens with the Indian guy's wife coming up. Like, you own a printing press, and you told me that, like, the upstairs was for me. There was a green screen. They knew I did content.
What? Oh. Right. Okay, we're back into the stories. Now that she maybe or maybe didn't pay for, whatever, the food.
And then 2 weeks later, your wife is upset. Like, why wouldn't you clear that with your wife? That makes no sense. It was a non-sexual relationship, and they knew that I was there under duress and literally, like, fighting for my life from being sexually assaulted and thrown outside of my house unlawfully and all of these things that I had gone through. Babe, did she give a straw?
No.
Stop.
No. I want to stop someone and get it.
Mm-hmm. Please. So I end up leaving there, spending 2 nights.
Yeah, it's not receipt 2, but she could have been like, show me that it was declined, and then just be like, right there, it says it was declined 3 times. But I don't know, maybe it finally worked.
On that guy's couch. He introduced me to his whole family.
Maybe she was like, if the losers are watching me online, they're going to block my account because they're super hackers. But if I turn the live stream off, it'll work. Maybe she's trying to scam the donut place. She's like, maybe they'll give me it for free. And I'll put money in the account if I absolutely have to. It's either Gillespie, I never know.
Which was oddly like a super doppelganger version of my own family. Like me, Louis, Vivi, and Bebe. It was really fucking weird. But, it was just a weird thing, you know? And there's, and weird in a lot of ways, but also like super consistent and on point in a lot of other ways. Like, how they keep on telling me that, you know, everything is resolved and...
Ooh.
Just basically misrepresenting the situation. And
is it Xavier? Xavier's like, don't worry, everything is resolved. I resolved everything. It's fine. Everything's good. And then Heather's like, no, it's not. We're not making the budget every day. The quarters, they're missing. There's shit in the toilet. And all over the place, apparently.
So after 2 days there, he said that his wife was getting upset because she was pregnant and not happy with me, like, being there on the sofa. But that they were very grateful for what I had done translating their work to English and all of those things, blah, blah, blah. So there was no, like, ill will, but his son dropped me off after a doctor's appointment right there at Walgreens. And Ontario and Clark. And I
Ontario? That's my province. Apparently it's like a street or something too.
literally unloaded all of my stuff, luggages, bins, toaster oven, blankets, my air mattress, everything I had, clothes, production equipment, lights, yoga mat, probably about 5 big bags of luggage, and like a big, huge like tote, plastic tote, Rubbermaid tote. My laptop in there, everything. And that's all the stuff that got stolen from Xavier's father's house. All of it. All my clothes, naked wardrobe clothes from Nordstrom, clothes from Ross, clothes from...
What's naked wardrobe? Never heard of naked wardrobe.
Marshalls, all brand new. You know, were purchased within the last 3 months, because every single time I get a new wardrobe, they would just come and fucking rob me for everything that I had, over and over and over again. And I kept on calling the police, and the police would blatantly laugh in my face. So I just gave up on calling the police.
Really? That's not good.
Now...
That sounds really mean of the police to do that.
That is when I met Xavier, about an hour after that. You know, an hour after that, Xavier came to me and said, Jehovah God sent me to protect you and you safe. Those are his exact words.
There's a lot of Heathers on my screen. But this one I probably shouldn't look at, because then I'll like be looking into your guys' soul, and that would be weird, right? At least this one, I think it looks normalish.
He said there's a safe house.
Should move the chat somewhere
in the Gold
else.
Coast that my dad
Chat's
has,
like right there,
where I can take you and I can keep you safe there, and no one is gonna hurt you anymore. And I was like, I don't believe you. Prove it, you know. And we went to these church steps, and we sat there, the church on Chicago and State, across the street from Whole Foods, and we sat there with all of my belongings, because I couldn't carry everything alone. And he was on a Zumo bike, dressed in Levi's and like Nikes and a jean jacket, and he like took half of my stuff and I walked the other half of my stuff, and I'm like, can't your dad just order us an Uber?
The cop did block her email. I think she overflooded. She like filled up his email too much. He couldn't receive emails anymore.
Like literally I had no money. My bank account had been frauded again. Like it was just awful. And I had spent 0 days indoors in a hotel.
Jehovah God. Heather's like, I think Xavier's actually. Xavier believes in Jehovah. He's like kind of a Jehovah's Witness or something. What was she going on about Jehovah God? Maybe that's just a Heather thing, actually. But she does go on about Jehovah God. But it was also the time that she's going on about, like, Gog Magog, who the fake police force. So who knows? She also doesn't know who Jesus is. I don't know. Heather's just, she got hit on the head with a tire iron. I think she lost some brain cells.
Or in anywhere unless I had paid cash for it. And I have a paper trail. None of my shit is fraud. So they wouldn't let me do fraud if it was the last way for me to...
Yeah, it's a weird name for like clothes. Naked wardrobe. The clothes are so bad you don't want to wear them. Problem solved. Never have to buy clothes again.
Fucking survive in the world. Like they don't give a fuck. Literally left me out.
These clothes gave me poison ivy.
If you don't understand that, now you fucking can. You know, like, if you're thinking that I'm the problem here, that I've been, like, getting myself hotel rooms and saying that I've been...
Xavier's pickup line was, my brother works for the attorney, and, God sent me. God sent me, and my brother works for the attorney.
Been staying in a town.
Who would say no to that?
I swear to God, on my life, on my children's life, that's not the truth. I've never once done that. Anytime that I've been homeless and without shelter, I've literally been sleeping either outdoors by myself or outdoors in a tent and with Xavier. And that's been the last since.
All of that's the Heather I know. The crazy outdoor cat Heather. Until you have a baby to try to grift an apartment, and now here we are. So I've known Heather more to be outdoors than she always says. I've always paid my own way and everything. I paid taxes since I was 14.
It's about a year before Weston was born. You know, and there's a whole lot more after that. So Xavier tells me he's taking me to the safe house in the Gold Coast, which we did end up going the second night. We stayed there for about another month. But nothing ever ends up, you know, going to court, or I never got a meeting with his brother, who's the district attorney, you know, or anything like that. So I'm...
Because he's not the district attorney. He, like, works in the same building as the district attorney. I don't even know if he works like directly for the district attorney. I don't know what Xavier's brother does, but I remember one time on one live stream he was like, "Look it up," and she's like, "When I looked it up on Google, it says right here." So I don't know exactly what he is. Maybe I should have looked it up, but he's an assistant. There you go. He's an assistant guy.
Going off of intuition and like a
Is that like just a guy that gets coffee?
blind and deaf kind
Shuffle some papers around. I need these papers on my desk by 5. Blah, 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 that kind of thing.
of vibe, kind of just feeling, gut feeling of what's going on and where to go. And intermittently, among all of these adversities, obstacles, travesties, operations, government and non-government sanctioned operations, I'm just, like I said, blind and deaf. There is no lead. There is no one saying, Heather, do this next, Heather, go in this direction. It's me feeling which way to go and going.
Would she listen to anybody though? Like if someone was like, Heather, you gotta do this, would she listen? She doesn't listen to anyone that I've seen. She's always arguing with people. The police, Xavier, the chat, her aunts. I haven't heard a conversation with her mom. Oh, the lady who worked with her mom at the gym. Who the hell was that? I can't remember. Kelly? Was it Kelly? Kelly. Yeah, she was playing with people.
So, I am very eager to, get into part 7, but we'll leave it there for today. So that was
Okay, so that's part 6, I guess.
the Franklin Park penthouse through the time I met Xavier. And when we pick up next time, Xavier and I will have been in his father's house for about a month, which to this day, I'm not sure if it's actually his father's house or a safe house because it was presented to me as being both. And I was told that that condo was going to be signed over to my children and I for restitution for everything that we went through.
He's the assistant DA?
So that's where I'm at. I hope you guys have a great day. It's Saturday. I'm working day 6 out of 7. I'll be working tomorrow as well. If you guys agree, please order DoorDash, Uber Eats, Grubhub. Let's feed these delivery drivers. Give big.
Well, I guess like I never really thought about it just because I know that it's not going to go anywhere. But what does she want the DA to do? Charge Dylan Smith? Dylan Smith's a fucking wreck, by the way. He has 3 Marissa tattoos. How does that happen? In the same place Heather has of him. It's insane. Dylan's gone insane.
Big tips. It's the holiday season. 25% or greater on all purchases. If you can't do a 25% tip or higher, don't order. All right, you guys have a great day.
It's crazy. Brooke was just going on about that today.
Okay, so now
But in the
we're live.
past.
So this is not an update or a part of the 12. This is just a response video, not in a way that's aggressively asking for assistance or intervention, but more so in a way that's pensively, strategically, and genuinely asking for advice. So I watched this Layla Hermosi, I think it is, or Hermosi, H-O-R-M something, Layla L-E-I-Z-A. I watch her shit on
I don't know who that is. Do you guys know who that is?
on YouTube, and she dresses the way that I used to dress and like to dress. I had that exact hair for like
a maniac? She used to dress crazy. Like, all of her fashion choices are kind of insane.
3 years. Brown, long, wavy, thick, extensions. And I do my makeup, or did my makeup, very similar. I feel when I look at her like I'm looking at a Heather Coco 2019, 2018. Before I got rid of my dark hair and started going back light again, like as far as the vibe looks and goes. And all of the videos, I feel like they are being spoken to me. Like, I know that if it applies, great. If not, if it doesn't apply, let it fly. If it applies, I forgot how it goes. Whatever. So I like to listen to these things and get a good perspective from people who are my age, my demographic, kind of in the same, similar or.
Who is the person, she said again? Yeah, it doesn't really matter. I just want to compare. Apparently this is a mini Heather, and everything that they do, Heather's like, this is calling to me.
The same background as I have, and I.
Like Gary Vee? think she said the same thing about Gary Vee once. So like that's probably like what we're talking about here. That's the level of delusion.
I just have I'm going to call you out, Layla, and ask, you know, for your advice here on this matter. Now, with specific to your video with regards to perception, I have made so many videos and so much content about this, and I've discussed this with people in person a lot. And this is going to be really quick because I'm busy right now and I have to run. But every single time I purchase clothing for myself, someone has stolen it. Someone has destroyed it. There was a time when a sponsor bought me
Why? Like, what would be the point?
Cashmere pants and hoodie set from Nordy's. I was literally having no place to live at the time. Xavier and I had nowhere to go and went to sleep literally at North Avenue Beach. I'm a grown-up with 4 children. Housing has never been an issue for me my entire life.
It seems like it's been a big issue, like for a lot of your life.
Prior to 2020, I've never had a housing issue. All of a sudden, I find myself with nowhere to live.
For 5 years. 5 years, only like, how old is Heather? Is Heather like 40? I think Heather's 37, 36, 37. 5 years is a big chunk of your life.
Having all...
Like, we're not going to count when you're grown up, right? And so like the first... I don't know, when did you get kicked out? 18, 19? Or moved out? Let's say the first 20 years don't count. So like 5 out of 16 years is like a third of your life. You've had problems with housing.
All of this adversity take place. Some physical abuse, some sexual abuse. Anyways, I get a sponsored cashmere set, like a nice pair of like wide leg trouser pants that are made of cashmere and a matching hoodie. The very first day I got them, Xavier and I go to sleep at North Avenue. I'm on him.
And they let all like 400 people off of felony probation. We were all in violation of probation and they didn't have any room in the prisons. And the judge said, Merry Christmas.
At Cindy_Lou_102. Super chatted $10. He hasn't worked for the Attorney General for 10 years. He's a corporate attorney now.
Okay.
Also, who thinks you're getting a Gold Coast apartment for free after a month of dating? Thank you, Steve. Smiling face with hearts.
Fucking Heather Gillespie thinks that. That's Heather Gillespie thinks she's like God's gift to man. She's amazing. Everyone should bow down to her, etc. and so forth. Thank you for the time.
His chest, and we have a blanket covering the both of us that's tucked underneath his body. We wake up the next day, I swear to God, too, Xavier can verify. Someone with scissors had cut the pants from off of the waistband so that when I stood up, the waistband was still on, but about half of the pants were cut off of the waistband. I could never wear them again after that. Like
turned him into assless chaps? Like her ass was just hanging out of the pants? Like this nefarious... Who would do such... What?
Like unless I tied them and like did all this...
Has Xavier just being a trickster this whole time? Xavier for the past 5 years just being nefarious as fuck?
Safety pins and I had nothing. Like that was like one of 4 outfits I had at that time because less than 72 hours prior...
Maybe she like almost got sane one time or something. Xavier was like, oh my God. If she becomes sane, she's gonna leave me. So I gotta make sure she stays crazy. Better keep doing insane shit. And then she'll stay with me. I don't know. Xavier seems like he has his own problems, actually. I don't think he's that smart. I don't think he has the capacity to be pulling off such a crazy prank, you know?
Someone had stolen my entire bin from Xavier's father, and I purchased that with legal money. Naked wardrobe, I think I paid $200 for the pants and $70 for the top. Just that one outfit alone was a $300 outfit, and they stole the bin. My bin had my laptop, outfits like that, outfits from Marshalls, from Ross. That bin in itself was worth about probably $2,000 to $3,000, and I purchased everything in there, or it was given to me legally.
Yeah, exactly.
How do you recommend someone like me? You said don't wear athletic leisure clothing because the way that you're perceived is, and I believe this and I agree with this, it's so true, 1000% true. I want nothing more than to have like wide-legged trouser pants with like a button-up shirt or like a black turtleneck for every single day. I own nothing but leggings, and
what is she talking about? That's not what she's put online. Like I said, her old fashioned things. What's your impact? Whateverness. It's always been crazy. It's always been some crazy shit. I don't know. This fooled me. I guess she just wants to dress like that every day. She could. She could if she wanted to. Why not?
Reason for that is because I continue to work my you-know-what round. I like to say work my butt round rather than work my butt off now because...
She stole the naked wardrobe outfit? How'd she steal? I don't know anything about naked wardrobe. I don't know. What's about no Contendo? I know Contendo.
I felt like that was sending signs of the signal that I wanted a flat butt, and I do not. So I have been working my butt round. Literally 7 out of 7 days of the week I have been working. 54 hours last week alone. And every single time I purchase myself something quality, something nice, something name brand, it gets stolen. Example.
You shouldn't be doing it anyways. You're under budget. Why are we buying stuff? We get Botox, but we don't pay rent. Fuck.
Last year working at Spin, I bought a North Face hat for my head, like a $50 hat. They stole it. The only time, I would say the last 9 months, I haven't been robbed, but I also haven't been purchased anything expensive. So like my hat, this Chanel hat, I literally like sleep with it because
she left it on the street. Please don't steal. And all people stole it. Can't imagine.
I'm afraid that someone will steal it from me. This is the only thing of any value that I even have left anymore. Like literally, what would you say for a woman like myself?
Naked, like lingerie. That makes sense.
Who has been raped, robbed, sexually assaulted in other ways, beat up, had her belongings stolen, frauded, had her identity stolen, have all of her clothing separated from her children, and police have done minimal to be able to assist me with this. If they have the tools to be able to.
You can kind of see Xavier, a little head poking there. Not a lot, but a little bit. Right there.
Do it. I don't know that because I've filed so many police reports. It's not even funny. And we're at a space now. I have a 2-year lease in my apartment. I've been there 1 year and we're being threatened by strangers pretending to be the management company that I need to leave or change X, Y, and Z about how I'm living. I'm never even there. I work literally. I leave between 6 and 9 a.m. every single day. And I don't get back until between like 11 and like 1 a.m. most days. I would say that's like 98% of the time I've been there.
That's just Heather. Heather made it like that. I'm not blocking Xavier. Heather took Xavier out of the shot for these two lives.
There are a few days I let myself sleep until 9:30, but very rarely.
It's very sad. I feel that would be like, we'd be center focused on Xavier. We gotta be. Xavier's he's someone we gotta keep an eye on him, you know?
I'd say one.
I might fall off the wagon by Christmas, honey.
At Michelle Gormo, super chatted $2. In new to her, what's her story?
She's like a bad mom. She was on Love After Lockup with Dylan Smith. I can't remember what season it was. She's like Brooke in a lot of ways.
Fuck up, fuck down, or fuck any fucking way for that matter. How about everyone just stop fucking for a while? It's Christmas.
At Ryan Ambrosia Q, super chatted $19.99. Merry Christmas, Steve and chat. I hope none of you are bludgeoned, robbed, raped, or have your tooth buttered. Christmas tree victory hand medium skin tone light blue heart.
I hope none of you are either. Thank you for the 10, Ryan. And thank you for the 2, Michelle. I'm trying to think of a good way to like run down her whole thing. I mean, like, chat can give you like a rundown of everything. She chose prison dick over her own kids, basically. Lost all 3 of her kids. Just had a kid recently while she was living in a tent, specifically to try to get an apartment because she didn't like the alternative free housing options. And then in the process of leaving that kid. Hasn't had custody of that kid for the whole time he's been born. Just went to court. It was yesterday, the 11th. She went to court. Apparently it's being continued. Local Coco posted something, actually. I gotta pull that up after we get through the streams. And there's not like a whole lot of information about that right now, but it's not, I can't imagine it looking good. Word on the street is that it's not looking too good for Heather. And I can't imagine why. Like, listen to her, right?
Once a month. What would you recommend for someone like me who has 10 years experience in healthcare administration, has proven time and time again that
yeah, she was diagnosed with paranoid personality disorder with traits of narcissism. That's what Heather told us anyways. So that's yeah, I didn't mean to say that's pretty accurate. She's pretty paranoid.
they are loyal, intelligent, caring, kind, motivated, driven, etc. A loving mother, a good person. Like, what would you recommend for someone like me to get my clothing, you know, wardrobe rebuilt so that I can present myself to the world in the way that I know I want to be perceived and the way that I deserve to be perceived, especially when there are people like who have been proven to be stalking me, harassing me, and even robbing me. And with the lack of assistance from, you know, FBI or you know, local law enforcement.
The fuck is the FBI gonna do, man?
I did do a very small appearance on a reality show, and I did have a very large platform for spicy content, all solo, never porn. But I just want to know
how many I don't know if anyone knows the answer to this, but like how many followers did she have or whatever? Like, what was this large following?
You know, I'm trying to move.
Like I'm at 200,000 people watching Heather's sexy content.
Move all of that following into the following of, if I can do it, you can. And GoPro Solo is the name of my production company.
That's true, no Nintendo and the twins, yeah.
So it's about everything and anything. Styling yourself, personal training yourself. Like, maybe you don't have to do it alone, but in the case that you need to do a workout and your personal trainer's not there, I'm helping people with those tools. That's the niche of my content, GoPro Solo. So it's me showing how I've done everything, and it might not be alone. It might be with a girlfriend or with Xavier or with someone else. It just means without like the corporate backing, how do you be successful? And that's my line, that's my brand. But every single time I purchase clothing and try to get, you know, a step above with regards to professionalism, they keep on coming and robbing me. So what would you recommend for someone like myself who has literally been forced to slave labor at this point, when you work 7 days a week and your belongings keep getting stolen and you're not being permitted to support your children? That I would call that slave labor and human trafficking. What?
No one's no, first off, I don't think anyone's expecting Heather Gillespie to do anything for her children because she's already kind of like fucked that up. She buys some dollar store stuff for every holiday. I don't know what she's gonna get for Christmas this year. She's already behind on bills. But she was the one who quit an hourly rate job at Ping Pong Land. What the fuck is it called? I can't remember what it was called. I've been forgetting what it's been called for 2 days now. I don't know. We call it Ping Pong Land. She quit that job to get a car and go fucking do Uber. Now, like, I don't know. That's not guaranteed income. If there's no one getting Uber rides, or if you're like choosing to work at the wrong hours, then you're not gonna make any fucking money. A spin, thank you. That was driving me nuts. So you quit spin to go like. I don't know why she would need the car. Why she justifies it. Maybe Chicago's public transportation system is shit. She could have done Uber on the side. She could have just done Uber on the side. She didn't need to quit spin. What is she doing quitting an hourly rate job?
And they let all like 400 people off of felony probation. We were all in violation of probation, and they didn't have any room in the prisons. And the judge said, "Merry Christmas."
Merry At Christmas. Cindy_Lou_102. Super chatted $2. Marissa has the receipts on Heather contacting her.
Thank you for the 2, Cindy. I gotta check that Reddit thing. I was thinking about going over all of it, but then I seen Marissa like defending Dylan, and I was like, fuck this. So I decided I won't look at it, but I do want to see, did she posted receipts to that? Are you talking about that thread she did on Reddit? I don't know if it's called a thread. I don't know what it's called on Reddit. Like a Q&A kind of thing. Was it there? Because I'd be interested in, I don't know what she said. Or if you know who posted it, like did Loco Coco post it somewhere? You could just read it there.
What would you recommend I do when I haven't been able to?
Someone admitted to messing with Marissa. It wasn't Heather. The person called David Shepard a lawyer. Oh. Yeah, David Shepard isn't a lawyer. Heather Gillespie would know that.
To enhance my wardrobe, not because I'm unwilling or I don't want to, but because I keep getting robbed. This one's for Layla. Middle of doing.
Who the fuck is Layla? What? Why is it being weird? Who's Layla? I don't know. I guess that doesn't matter.
40 things. What else is new? I just got done with a visit with Weston, and I promised that I was going to do, besides a 7 of 12, that I was going to do an update with regards to details on the bludgeoning. I get my car wash monthly membership in Franklin Park, and it's kind of by where my kids live and where I visit Weston, at the DCFS office, Hillside. So it's about one town away. It used to be at the DCFS office at Maywood, but that office was so ghetto and nasty. I'm so glad they switched because it was just...
So Marissa is Dylan Smith's new girlfriend, maybe ex? I don't know if they're together right now. They're always on again, off again. Then Dylan Smith is the one who Heather Gillespie was on Live After Lockup of. It's weird. Heather Gillespie has like 3 or 4 tattoos of Dylan, and then Dylan has 3 tattoos of Marissa right now. So they're kind of like the same person, Dylan and Heather, and Marissa's just, like Dylan's new or old. I think he was with Marissa before Heather, actually. Marissa's just like another girl Dylan's with.
It's awful. So I had my visit, and then when I'm done with my visit, I always go to get a car wash and gas up my car, and then start working immediately after, whether I'm driving humans or food or whatever I'm doing. So everyone's been asking about the bludgeoning, what happened with the bludgeoning, etc. and so forth. You see this, right, Xavier? So this is 3 times we've...
Are people actually hacking his devices, or is that like a Heather thing? Like how Heather's like, oh, people are hacking my devices? Or is it like people are actually hacking his devices?
Left the car wash and come back in an hour on a Monday, on a day when the kids are in school at 2 p.m. 3 times we've left and come back from 1 to 2:51, 1:30 to 2:51 or 2. And the line has been so long that it's out to the street. That never happens. I don't know. These people are on complete and total bullshit, and then there's no one in the vacuum line. So fix your virtual fucking experience, because it's not at all accurate. But anyways, everyone's been asking me to elaborate.
See, we can see Xavier Khan again now.
On the bludgeoning situation, and I just did an Instagram post saying that I would, and that I would link the explanation. So here I am. Now, if you've been following along and you've watched 1 through 6 out of 12 of the explanation as to how I became houseless in the first place, you know that I was a medical administrator, that I was working at Northwestern Hospital for 6 years for the departments of rheumatology and endocrinology with very prestigious physicians. I left that job to become an office manager.
I love when you can see like Xavier just like starting to nod off in the back. His eyes are closing. Because it's boring. There's for endocrinology
in a private ophthalmology practice, and just 3, maybe 4 months after doing so, I got a job working bottle service. About a month after I entered the bottle service nightlife industry, I started getting extorted by a detective named David Shepard. David Shepard and someone under investigation named Dylan Smith, together and apart, caused me to...
Together and apart. They're just fucking... Everyone's after Heather for different reasons. 3 different reasons.
Participate in what they called playing ball. Dylan and I fell in love and became engaged, and he became my source of strength and protection from the unlawfulness that was taking place. I was being told by this member of law enforcement that my children would be taken by the DCFS system. Mind you, I'm an administrator, so maybe not president of a company, but I'm working in, corporate, in a respectable position with a lot of people, you know, who rely on me.
What was the sheriff? You can, unlike, I don't know about Twitter, actually. Twitter is like, you need a passcode. And I'm like, I don't have a passcode. If I did, this would probably be it. And it's like, that's not your passcode, so don't try to DM me on there, apparently. But maybe, like, Instagram or something. If it's just, like, the text messages, I guess it's not. Like, if it's the fake text messages, I don't really care about fake stuff.
And I'm doing so in the company of some of the most prestigious doctors that we have in this country.
You get it there, so I don't know exactly what you're talking about.
And the relevance and importance of me explaining it that way is because a lot of people have been blaming the circumstances that have unfolded since the release of Dylan Smith, inmate number Y12173 of the IDOC. A lot of people have been blaming the occurrences that have taken place since that time on various things that are not true, nor are they the true reason for the issues and adversity. First and foremost, my mental health. My mental health has never been the issue, and I would like to ask that people take into mind that when you work shoulder to shoulder.
Her mental health has been an issue. That's why they were like doing psychiatric evaluations and diagnosing her shit.
For 50, 60 hours a week, every week for 6 years with some of the most prestigious doctors that money can buy, they'd be able to tell if you had some sort of qualifying or disqualifying mental health condition that didn't allow you to parent.
No, they wouldn't.
Right? So, and they didn't.
You're the fucking receptionist and they're busy doing their job, being like doctors and shit, man. They don't know what you're doing at home. Like, what are you fucking talking about?
My children all lived with me.
They're not like picking your brain at work.
Full time prior to the occurrences of Dylan's release and my appearance in the reality TV show. Even during the time that I was being extorted by law enforcement into working as an escort, into selling sexy content, into stealing electronic communication devices from various of their targets or interested people in you know, that were being investigated, that law enforcement could not move on. So the reason all of that.
She thinks she's telling a different story or a different part to the story every time she does one of these parts, but it all sounds the fucking same to me, to be honest.
That is relevant is because Dylan was then released.
Xavier's already passed out. Look at him. Good job, Xavier.
And when Dylan was released,
there's just his white noise machine at this point.
At least I was under the impression that we were going to be in some sort of protected space where our families could no longer be.
Did he just jump awake? Hold on. Oh, why can't we go back? Why is it doing to me?
Who's ready for Christmas?
At Rocky Ramirez 831 super chatted $4.99. Sorry I'm late. F hypha and XSLavia.
Thank you for the 5, Rocky Ramirez. Why won't it let me why don't it let me go back here? Do I have to press that and then go? That should fucking work. Why are you being an asshole? I want to see Xavier pop awake. Oh, well, that's really annoying, though. It should work. Like, it should just work. Oh, now it works.
From various of their targets or interested.
Watch him. Watch him right there.
People in you know, that were being investigated. That law enforcement could not move on. So the reason all of that is relevant is because Dylan was then released. And when Dylan was released, I was under the impression that we were going to be in some sort of protected space where our families could no longer be threatened by anyone, law enforcement or not, to say, if you don't X, then we will Y. That is literally called extortion. So if a detective tells you you have to go steal this girl's laptop, otherwise I will come, followed by a threat, that's unlawful. That's extortion. Internal Affairs got involved in that. Detective was removed, you know, from my case, and that was in 2017. And I have been fighting and suffering for understanding and some sort of explanation as to how things have been permitted to continue on this path, considering the fact that internal affairs has already gotten involved.
She's always so rough with her makeup. Do you guys put your makeup on like that? Like just like a cat? You know, a cat's like fucking, I don't know, not doing a very good cat impression. It's just very rough, it seems.
Despite that fact, I'm still to this day in 2025 cleaning up a mess that was created by that detective and others in 2015 to 17 time. Now, after Dylan was
you do, Shad? You put your makeup on like a cat?
released and we did the show LAL, I started getting a lot of hatred, a lot of threats against my life, threats against my livelihood, threats against my business, threats against my everything. And it was coming in from all angles, and there was no real way for me to identify why or who. Mind you, I was also being used to gather information against ultra wealthy and ultra poor individuals and everyone in between. So where do I live now? Where is
What information did we gather? Why wouldn't we use this information to like better a situation? You know what I'm saying? I am not going to give you this information unless you leave me alone, or like, I don't know, be like, this is the information they made me get. We never get to hear about the information. It's just an old laptop, and I don't even know what was on the fucking laptop, man. She never says. Does she say? It's Jordan's laptop. What's Jordan up to? Being evil. That's a good face, though. Look at that face.
Safe and acceptable for my children and I to live when these people have been using my children and I without our knowledge, permission, or consent for the last 20 years to gather information, right? This is all unresolved, all of it. So during this time, the show had just aired. And
HGL for never? Oh, in this chat here? Or in our chat?
And right before the show aired, Dylan and I were still living together. I didn't know this, but he sold a narrative to the show that him and I had broken up. So
you did break up.
Who's ready for Christmas?
At No Contendo 9132 super chatted $1.44. Who feels comfortable? Food from an ex-dresser, Uber?
Who feels comfortable? Who feels comfortable? Food from an ex-dresser. I feel like I'm going crazy. I don't know what that means. But thank you for the 2, No Contendo. No, I just wanted to ask them if they were... You guys remember Lulu? Like they used to be in chat with the Daria avatar? So I wanted to ask them if that was them. Because they're cool. They're cool beans. But what else was I going to say? I don't know. I guess that was it. I just wanted to know if they were in our chat.
A lot of people from the show, producers, executive producers, people that we were in communication with, camera people, other actors on the show, or people participating in the show, contestants, participants, whatever you'd like to call them. They all believed that we were broken up. Oh.
That's what I was gonna do. I think I can probably find it. I hope it doesn't break my shit. Oh, this goes against her own fucking shit. She told what's her face. It got interviewed by. Now I'm gonna forget who it was. It was like Toxic Diamond, or she got interviewed by 2 people, or maybe 3 people. It was one of them, and she was like, "Yep, me and Dylan were only together for like 2 or 3 days." And then I was like, that's crazy. That's crazy. So when did this happen? When did Dylan go behind her back? It was Toxic Diamond's interview where she said that too.
And we were not.
I'll pull it up. I'll pull it up. If my computer will let me. It might crash. Might not crash. Already dropping frames. Maybe I won't pull it up. Maybe you'll pull up another time.
We were living together. We were in a monogamous relationship together. We were engaged to be married. We woke up every morning.
But you guys remember the interview where she said that?
And went to the gym together and worked together all day selling renewable energy. This is before I met Xavier, obviously. So one day after Dylan and I broke up, and when I say broke up, I mean I went for an order of protection.
She's always homeless, but like, I never had any housing issues until I met Dylan Smith. Dylan Smith saved her from homelessness, apparently. I'm late to the scene. I was like 2023 was when I knew of Heather Gillespie.
Protection against him because I thought he was going to kill me, and rather than being granted that OP, I was thrown unlawfully into the street with nowhere to go, and my children had to go live with their father for the first time in their lives. My oldest was 14, my youngest was 6, and my middle was 13, and they all lived with me on a full-time basis at least 5 days out of the week. Prior to all of this going on. So after I had faced about 6 months of adversity.
I have played it before. If we didn't have so much stuff from this week, like if we need a filler, or like if she doesn't give us much stuff next week, we can go over it again. I think it's like an hour, the interview itself, or maybe more. I don't know. I can't remember. But I don't want to be here for 12 hours. Not 12 hours, but you know what I mean? Well, I don't know. We'll see. Let me, maybe I'll smoke. Well, I will smoke some. We'll see what's happening.
City, with regards to housing instability, and I was living in the backseat of.
But right now, I'm scared. I'm scared that if I like mess with anything, I'm gonna go and not work anymore, man.
My Cadillac CTS, I met some guy. It was at Export Melrose Park, so right down the street from here, North Avenue, Melrose Park Export. The guy was walking. He looked upset, disturbed. I had just gotten done with my workout. He was in the parking lot of the Export, and he began engaging in conversation with me. We started talking. I was all alone, and I was scared to sleep in the backseat of my car by myself because the night before I had gone to a truck stop as well as a Walmart and been followed by various members of law enforcement and told that I was not permitted to sleep there. And I kept saying, if it's the middle of the night and I can't pull over and sleep at a truck stop or a Walmart, where am I supposed to park to sleep? I don't feel safe. And I was being denied.
Can't do it. I can't do it. You guys, I don't know if you've been paying attention. Maybe you haven't been here when I've tried to do other things and then everything goes. And I've learned my lesson. We'll get through this week. If I'm feeling like if I'm not completely dead, then we'll watch some of it after. But I know for a fact if I try pulling it up, everything's gonna. And I'm not in the mood to get pissed off. Well, I'm never in the mood to get pissed off, but I'm not in the mood to fight with my computer. Right, man.
I had shelter assistance from day one. From literal day one, I was calling on and working with agencies such as Between Friends by with Lizzie Hundren, that was the caseworker, and many others. That's just one example. I have phone
Lenny Hendricks
numbers that are, on pieces of paper this long, written line after line after line of the number I called, who I spoke with, the name of the organization, and what assistance was offered, if any. None of them offered housing or shelter. But with that being said, Xavier, I just need to move this back a little bit, please. With that being said, I received zero assistance and I decided to make the best of it. So I was literally working out like 8 to 12 hours a day at the gym, driving DoorDash or other like delivery services, Grubhub, etc. And using the money to just pay what I could pay for an Airbnb or a hotel if I could. If not, I was sleeping in the backseat of my car. I would drive over to my kids' houses and like sit in the car with them and watch a movie, bring them dinner, and then
you guys go. Look, you can see Daisy. That's Daisy, the cat. I'll be right. I'm just gonna smoke a bowl quick. I'll be like 2 seconds. Whoa, fucking weewa.
And they'd go inside to their fathers and I'd leave and go to work, DoorDash, whatever. My kids didn't really know I was completely homeless until about 2 years later, after they started sexually assaulting and exploiting this newly found position of housing insecure. So now I have a house. I have an apartment, actually, not a house. I still need help with housing with regards to purchasing a house, but every single time I make a few extra dollars, it gets squeezed out of me. So anyways, back to the bludgeoning. So I'm at Melrose Park Export. This is 2021, I believe. About a year after being unlawfully displaced from my home at 2037 West Roscoe, Chicago, Illinois 60618. When that took place, there was so much adversity and controversy that took place with that event, and I'm going to speak to that on a different YouTube video. And then I'm also going to be uploading these videos with the help of AI and ChatGPT to an easier to understand interactive platform where you can ask questions and it'll be like an AI, Heather, giving you an answer. And I'm really excited to be working on that. But so I left the Melrose Park Export and I was in my car and I start speaking to this man, and he's basically explaining to me that he lives very far away in St. Charles, that he just got done with his workout, that he had a big fight with his sister, and that his sister called the police on him and said some unlawful things, so they sent him to some place far away. Not unlawful, I'm sorry, untrue things of him, unflattering, untrue things of him, that he and his sister shared rent, and that he was trying not to go home, so he was at the gym. That he and his sister's apartment was all the way in St. Charles, Illinois, and that he wanted to stay out here. I told him that I would be happy to take him to the store. He asked for a ride to get some food or snacks or something like that, that I would be happy to take him to the store, and that I would be happy to work out with him here at the Melrose Park Export, you know, if he would be willing to stay with me in the car for a few hours while I slept in the back seat. I explained that law enforcement had moved me from the truck stop that I was sleeping at the night before, as well as from the Walmart parking lot. He said no problem. There was no weirdness, no sex, no, you know, nothing. I didn't feel attacked or harmed or anything, and the same vice versa. We went to a gas station or a 7-Eleven. Mind you, it was Export. It was open 24 hours, so it was the middle of the night. We went to go get some snacks, and then we went back to the Export parking lot, and that he stood up, you know, keeping watch, and I went to sleep at the first shift. Then we switched, and we just ate snacks and planned to go to the gym in the morning. When morning came, I tried to locate a clean fitness outfit from my trunk and realized that I had nothing clean. I told him I needed to go to do laundry and that he could stay at the gym. He said he wanted to go with me to the laundromat. Mind you, this is all platonic. Nothing weird going on, nothing predatory at all whatsoever, nothing unlawful or unethical. So I said that that was fine, and I thought he was cool. He reminded me of someone who I knew, you know, from back in the day, and I thought, you know, I just met a friend at the gym who's also going through hard times, which is not unheard of at Export in the middle of the night, because who's at Export in the middle of the night? Third shift workers, or I'm sorry, first and second shift workers who are awake third shift, people who get off work at 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, and people who share apartments.
Who is this supposed to be? This isn't Dylan, right?
Apartment rents and can't be home during the night. That's pretty much it, you know? And then people like myself who are just night owls or, you know, homeless or going through things like that. So it's not uncommon to meet people who are going
Night owls are homeless, yeah. Same thing.
through similar situations. And I just felt like I had found someone who could kind of have my back while I would sleep, because of, you know, I was just not being permitted to sleep. I was being so bullied that I would be woken up like every 5 to 10 minutes, that I would fall asleep by a different member of law enforcement with the threat that I could not sleep there. It made no sense. So me and this guy wake up in the morning, or I wake up in the morning, and the guy's in the front seat. He hadn't robbed.
Oh, this is the bludgeoning guy. Oh, who was that? I can't remember his name. Can't remember what his name ended up being.
Me. He hadn't taken the car. He hadn't stolen anything from me. And mind you, obviously, if you have a network of people who are able to help you, you don't really find yourself in these very sensitive situations where you have to rely on and trust in strangers.
That's why, yeah, this doesn't sound like, she changed it. So before, it was just like some guy off of the street. Some guy on the street that she picked up. And I was like, that was really stupid. You shouldn't just pick up a guy off the street and live with him in your car for 2 days. That's dangerous.
Strangers for your physical protection or security, but I just could not keep on driving without sleep. I was absolutely exhausted. I was not on any drugs. I've never been on any drug stimulants.
What Adderall? If you're abusing Adderall, it's like basically the same thing as meth. If you're abusing it, you know? Fucking Heather.
My entire life. And so everything's going normal with this guy. I say I'm going to go throw in a load of laundry and come back to the gym. He says he wants to come with me to the laundromat.
It's a completely different strategy. So Heather's channel, how much subs does Heather's channel have actually? I mean, Pull up and see here. Like 4,000? I don't know if you can see that there. Because I can't see what you're seeing. I'm blinded by... Look, it's over my face too. I can't see. So 3... That's how many subs Heather has. Because she doesn't block any comments. But if she did, then I'm sure her numbers would be like way higher, right? But also she can point to this and be like, look how much... Look at all the bullies. They're bullying me, you guys. Calling me Trenches girl. Maybe it was like, maybe that was supposed to be like reverse psychology. Like, don't call me Trenches girl, because she wants people to call her Trenches girl instead of doing the tooth. I never heard her bring it up again. It's weird though.
I go right here at Grand Avenue and Mannheim Road. I throw in my laundry. I say, let's go get a car wash and a gas up while we're doing the laundry.
Floating
He's
down
down for it.
honey.
We come to the gas station.
But it does kind of make the grift work better, in my opinion, I think. If someone sees all that, they're like, wow, that's so sad. Or Heather Gillespie.
It never had any sort of, I'm sorry, the car wash. We had never had any sort of adversity or like a negative word to say about the other. We never had an argument. We only knew each other for like 24 hours at this point. And he asked me to give him a ride to St. Charles. I explained to him that I could take him to the Metro. I could even give him money for the train, to get on the train and come back down to Chicago and pick him back up at the train, but that I had to work. I was a DoorDash driver at the time, and that I could not drive him all the way to St. Charles, that I didn't have the mileage available, I didn't have the money available, and that I would rather pick him up at the Metro. It was at that point that I said no, that he began calling me every name in the book, saying that Dylan and Marissa sent him, whatever that means.
Yeah, I'm sure they did.
And went into... First, he got out of the car. I asked him to get out of the car, and he said no. When he said no, I got out of the car. As soon as I got out of the car, he got out of the car, came around. He was in the passenger, I was in the driver. He began stomping on my head, punching me in the face, kicking me.
So I guess, like, viewer discretion is advised for this part. This is a crazy part. Trigger warning. And, I mean, like, people had to come and save her. People had to come and intervene and save her from this crazy man, because he did get a tire iron and start like hitting her in the head. So, I don't know. Everything up until that point, I don't know what the fuck happened, but that, at least this part happened. It's in the police report.
I tried to run away. He grabbed
There's like cameras and stuff.
me from around my legs and dragged me down to the ground. I landed like literally face first, where he began to kick me, step on me, punch me. I got up. And when I got up and started to get away, I looked back to see where he was, and he had walked back to my vehicle, the Cadillac CTS, parked right here at this gas station, or car wash rather, so all of this is on video. He went into my back seat and he grabbed my tire iron. I tried to run away. I couldn't get away fast enough. He brought me to the ground again and then proceeded to begin repeatedly bludgeoning me in my head.
Nothing like solid. Just that it's still ongoing technically. She did like a 2-minute live stream where her internet cut out mysteriously. She never came back, but she was like, they won't accept my compliance, and then it cut. She says she's being compliant. I've heard otherwise. Loco Coco says that she's not being compliant. I don't know why Weston doesn't have Xavier's last name. Especially since Xavier's family is looking after the fucking kid. That makes no sense to me at all. What's Heather Gillespie done for this kid other than put it in danger? And what's Heather Gillespie's parents doing for this kid? Nothing. So, like, I don't know why it has Heather's last name. Because Xavier is not that strong of a guy. And I guess he just was like, okay, that's probably exactly what happened. Xavier's probably just like, okay.
With a tire iron, a metal tire iron. I was screaming and crying and begging for help and mercy. And the next thing I knew, I woke up and an ambulance was there. And I
have heard the apparently he didn't sign the birth certificate or something, or they couldn't find him to find the birth certificate. He was there with Heather's stuff though, so I don't know why he wouldn't. That's weird to me. Maybe that though too, but I just think Heather wanted it to have her last name.
I was covered in blood. This entire side of my face was just instantly black and blue and covered in blood. At that time, the ambulance took me to Elmhurst Hospital, where I received staples to the back of my head, 4 or 5 staples, and I was held there for 5 days under 3 different diagnoses. Number 1 was that they wanted to run some sort of testing because I was positive for COVID. Number 2 was I had, a huge bludgeoning in the back of my head. They wanted me to rest and to monitor me for blood clots.
I don't know if she had COVID. I know it was during COVID. So they brought in a laptop to have her identify him out of a lineup, and it didn't work, and then she never came back to identify him again. But I don't know if she's going to say that. I just know what we read in the police report that one time.
To prevent some sort of, there could have been a pulmonary embolism, there could have been something else. As a driver and someone who stagnantly uses their legs a lot, combined with the fact that they had to give me coagulation medication because to stop the bleeding, they wanted to make sure that I did not get a lung. It's a stroke basically, or a blood clot that turns into a heart attack or some sort of other, respiratory or neurological issue.
Like a blood clot going in your lung, like a pulmonary embolism, I think those are called.
So they wanted to monitor me for that. And then I had also told them about everything that had taken place with being unlawfully thrown out of my home, unlawfully separated from my children, etc., and so forth, and about being raped. And at which point they said I was imagining it all, and they wanted another psych eval and held me on a 5150. Since 2020, I've had approximately 10 psych evals. They all say that I'm of sound mental health. Yet they're still using that as one of their primary reasons to keep Weston from coming home with me. In addition to that, I received 5 days inpatient stay at Elmhurst Hospital, and upon my release, I discussed with one of my friends, Fredo, who was living in Fort Lauderdale at the time, that I did not feel safe in Chicago anymore. That since filming the show, I had been assaulted on a number of occasions, and that I was concerned for my physical safety as well as the physical safety of my family, that I didn't know what to do, that I wanted to try to find a job in Florida.
The pasta was named after him.
So that I could get an apartment there and possibly bring my children to live there. That I was being harassed and stalked in real life, that I was calling the FBI, local law enforcement, and anyone who would listen for help, and that no one was helping me. I was even going live with the FBI on the phone, recording them and
yeah, good times,
and putting it on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook when I would tell them, hey, I just got raped.
She's in a car wash.
Someone is following me. They're stalking me to my Airbnbs. My bank accounts have been fraudulently accessed. I'm scared. Please help. And the FBI would laugh on the line and say, or whoever was, presenting themselves as the FBI would laugh on the line and say, go check yourself into the psych ward, crazy, or something else like this.
They never said that. They never said that. They would be like, you have to let me ask questions. And Heather was like, you can't listen if you don't let me talk. And they're like, no, we need to know specific things, so I'm gonna have to ask you questions. And if you're not gonna follow this format of the conversation, we're gonna have to end the call. And Heather would be like, and then they would end the call. So they never called her a crazy person or anything. That'd be really mean. And the FBI isn't mean. They just don't put up with your fucking bullshit because they got FBI shit to do. Very important FBI stuff to do, you know?
This is 6 years of this.
It's not Brooke, it's Heather.
And the reason I stopped documenting in my lives is because...
Yeah, I'm scared too. I'm always scared. I'm scared most of the time.
I thought it had all been resolved. It has started up again. So that's what happened with the bludgeoning. It was literally a matter of me being used and abused, left outdoors, refused my right to have a good night's sleep for days at a time, being bullied and moved around.
It's a scary sound. Look at this. Look at this. You guys see the new Mountain Dew can? Do you guys know what the old Mountain Dew can looks like? Look, this is an old Mountain Dew can. And then this is the new one. Well, I don't want to spill Mountain Dew anywhere. That's the old one. This is the new one. This is technically old too. But like this one, they're bringing back the old one to make it the new one. Kind of thing. Did If you guys know that.
By both law enforcement as well as non-law enforcement authoritative figures. And just out of desperation of not having sleep and being fearful for my physical safety, letting down my guard and being more friendly with someone who typically under normal circumstances I would not have been that friendly with, and trusting that they would have my back, and they literally ended up physically assaulting me with both their fists as well as, you know, a tire iron. So after I was released from the hospital, I did go to Florida. I got a job at Rose Bar.
It's the, I forgot what it's called, car wash. Working at that car wash. It's those fucking big ass things. I don't know what they're called. The whippy things.
Tampa Bay. I started working there for 3 or 4 days. I had several issues that were going on here in Chicago.
You know, cheerleaders have pom-poms. It's like that, but the car wash, and they're just like, with the, what do you, I don't know, what is it called? What are those things called?
So I needed to come back, and that is when my vehicle, a Cadillac CTS, was intentionally sabotaged mechanically for the 3rd time and rendered immobile in Valdosta, Georgia. And I'll be discussing the rest at a later time.
Mountain Dew is made for whiskey. Did you know that? You should have your whiskey with Mountain Dew and see what it tastes like. It's probably amazing because it's Mountain Dew, and because it was originally made to be paired with whiskey.
To also discuss the
nefariousness.
7 out of 12, which was, if you've been following along, I've been kind of trying to break up the last, I would say 15 years of my life into like a 12-piece kind of explanation so that I can neatly organize and catalog after doing a transcription on the narrative, so ChatGPT can listen with the audio. And
I don't have eyebrows. I think I have eyebrows. Heather has eyebrows. Xavier doesn't have eyebrows back there.
Put it all into writing for me, and then I can go through that transcript and, you know, edit it. And then I can make these easier to understand, even if they're like cartoon explanations, whatever, so that I could free up my time and just in an effort to defend my reputation, my name, my business for myself and for my children.
I have to tell you guys not to replicate anything you see on the stream. Nothing that Heather does is safe.
Children, I think it's very important that all of the actual facts be, you know, documented. And when AI takes over the world, at the very least, if the human beings aren't willing to slow down and hear what I'm saying, the AI will know.
The AI already doesn't like you. Have you talked to the AI about you? Yeah, so who am I? Who am I? Heather, who is Heather Gillespie? Go in on Xavier's AI and ask, who is Heather Gillespie? And see what it says.
So that's why I continue to follow up with this. So this is 7 out of 12, and where I left
it's all bad shit. One of my videos is cited there. That's bad.
off, Xavier. I'm gonna give the first of 6 explanations of our relationship and how we met. So do you want to be a part of that conversation? I'm live. Yeah, I was discussing the details of the bludgeoning.
I'm discussing the bludgeoning. I was discussing that. You want to wake the fuck up? You want to get in on this?
Of which I never.
He's always so far. He's like, fucking like, Xavier, what are you doing? Why are you always asleep, man?
Received a penny of restitution.
I always think he's overdosing. Like every day, I'm scared for him. Kind of. I mean, like, I don't know. I'm not that scared for him. He's got his stuff. I just looked over. It's hard to see him on this one. He's like really. It's not looking good. It's looking pretty bad.
Nor was I permitted to go to the sentencing in any way, shape, or form. Okay,
Everyone's
so
high.
just listen.
Hi, both high.
And if you'd like to add in, you can add in. So Xavier and I met after I explained this in the last video. An undercover officer named Juan, who identified himself as an undercover officer with both a badge as well as a vehicle with law enforcement license plates on it, brought me to the Walgreens on Ontario and Clark. It was actually the day after he originally brought me there.
It's like the original David Shepard, I guess.
That he had his son Lewis, was the name they gave me, which is also my son's name, just to make things more confusing. But he had him drop me off there the following day after going there with him. The reason that intersection is significant is just to document that that's where I met Xavier. When he had his son drop me off there, the day was scheduled that we were supposed to have a normal day. Mind you, he was a safe house in a series of about 10 safe houses that I was in from the time that this began with Dylan in 2020. From the time I was unlawfully displaced from my own home at 2037 West Roscoe, Chicago, Illinois 60618. So he was probably the 10th safe house. There was no sex. There was no working as an escort. There wasn't even sexy content. The last time I had any involvement with law enforcement and doing deals or being forced and extorted to participate.
What do you mean doing deals? You were doing deals, Heather? When were you doing deals?
Participate in God knows what, collecting electronic this or that. That was 2009.
Oh, man. I guess that's a deal.
19. So 2020 comes along and you know, Dylan throws me out and I'm going from safe house to safe house, and I know that I'm not safe during this time, but they keep on saying that I'm safe and everything's okay and not to worry and blah blah blah, and trusting in that is ultimately what led to me being sexually assaulted. Like, whatever, back on track. So Xavier approaches me. Babe, do you remember where we met?
I think I do. Wasn't it? I might get this wrong. The fucking boom boom boom, like He Wants to Be a Millionaire music. I was gonna call it something else. Linkin Park. I think it is Linkin Park. I hope it's Linkin Park. The mental hospital. Maybe. Who knows? Let's find out.
And do you remember what was?
Wait, I didn't hear what he said. Did he say something? Is Xavier fucking talking? Oh, that's the other thing. Why do I have to click this?
What was I doing there?
In order to go back. Big Bad Beetleborgs. Remember that? Remember that show?
Do you remember where we met?
What did he say?
And do you remember what was I doing there? No, I was just sitting there.
I need to know what he's saying. What? Do you guys know what he's saying?
I was literally just sitting there with all of my belongings. I wasn't telling you someone was going to pick me up. I was literally telling anyone who would listen that I had been unlawfully thrown out of my home, that I had been seeking shelter assistance for the last several years, that I was being...
Like, I believe Xavier more at this point. So... have to enhance it through Audacity or something after.
Directly denied.
No, you can't hear him for subtitles.
My human right to shelter, that I was scared, that I needed help, blah, blah, blah. I had also been telling YouTube, Insta, and Facebook everything that had been taking place since that whole saga began. So Xavier walks up to me wearing Levi's jeans made for a man, Nike Freeze or Nike, those like really light like foam running shoes, a Levi's jean jacket, and like an oversized hoodie. He's driving a Zumo electric bike.
I know the volume of whatchamacallit, of what the robot can hear in transcripts. I've gotten good at it. But we could see, let's see real quick here. We'll press that button, we'll go here. Oh, it's loading. No, can you guys see that? Can you guys see what I'm seeing? Hold me now. I'm 6 feet from the edge and I'm thinking. Think I go back?
And like an oversized hoodie. He's driving a Zumo.
Come on. Come on, we gotta see who's right. That's what matters right now. Why? See, that's not my fault. His transcript doesn't work. I'm out of it. I'm sorry. Is my computer working? It says it is. Nope. Well, I tried. Chat replay. Oh, is that gonna be broken now? Oh.
Electric bike, and he has a joint, and he says that he wants to smoke. And do I mind if he smokes right there? And I say, no, no worries. And we start talking, and in that original conversation outside of the Walgreens, he shared with me that his brother, Carlos Montoya, works for the district attorney's office for the state of Illinois. That he is aware of my case and my situation.
I guess she wants to empathize. Why does my mouth not sound like it can say that? She wants to emphasize. She wants to really nail it home that she fell in love with the guy version of Xavier.
That he and his family
emphasize. Something's not working.
Are going to help me, and that he's going to bring me to a safe house. I did not believe him.
Am I fucking high?
When he said he was going to bring me to a safe house in the Gold Coast, but I kind of also did believe him because that's the way it had been working. I was being dropped off after my car got stolen. I was
emphasize.
Literally being picked up and dropped off by one undercover person to the next. Or like dropped off in a location and told stay here until someone comes to get you. And then they'd come like 2 or 3 days later. So Xavier, number one, expresses to me that his brother is the DA and that they're gonna help me. And so now I trust him. But I didn't trust him much because of the sexual assaults and other things that had already taken place that I was like not okay with and that I was still not healed from. P.S. Anytime I talk to you guys, I look like shit because I am never like done with my makeup because I always try to do my documenting ASAP. And then as soon as my makeup's done, I'm on the meter working. So in real life, I do wear makeup every day mostly.
I don't know why this needs to be said. I don't know why I should bring this up.
But back to Xavier and I.
What about Xavier? Why doesn't he wear makeup?
Xavier was
more makeup.
Able to communicate effectively and hold his own. There were absolutely zero signs or symptoms of any sort of mental health struggle from him or from myself when I met him. I did believe what he said to be true with regards to his brother being the district attorney because he told me that he would take me to the safe house, and when he told me so, I said, help me move my belongings from this Walgreens to the church across the street from Whole Foods. You said that's the halfway point between here and your dad's, and we'll spend the night there at the church. It was getting late, like 7, 8 p.m. I said, we'll spend the night right there on the steps of the church, and if when I wake up, none of
the church won't kick us out. The church would never kick us out.
My belongings have been stolen or gone missing, and you're still there, then I'll trust you enough to go with you to this. Okay, and he stayed with me the entire night. And I woke up in the morning, he had only drank a bottle of wine that I had in my purse. And
you know what's crazy? For whatever reason, when this one flashes down here, you see that? You see the thing down there? Why can you see through to the writing? That's not even a green one. What's that? What is up with that?
Smoked my vape, but my money was still there, my clothes, my everything else was still there. And I had a lot of stuff. I had production equipment, lighting, yoga.
Maybe you guys don't see what I mean.
Yoga mats, clothing.
That's okay.
Expensive clothing too. Like I said, naked wardrobe outfits, my laptop, everything was still there. So we moved it to the Gold Coast safe house, and we stayed there for about 2 months. And this was, do you remember what year, babe? Was it 2022 or 2023? Babe, Xavier.
Yeah.
Do you
It's amazing.
are you fucking having narcolepsy or something? Like you're just randomly dozing off.
Yeah, that's what he does. You should have some Narcan. Just in case. Just in case. He might die, bro.
On the live, and I'm trying to document what.
Why was he licking himself? What the fuck was that? Is it gonna let me go back? Please let me go back. Fucking thing. Hold on.
Year.
Yeah, just here, we'll do the whole thing again, because that's pretty good. What the fuck is happening in the world of Heather and Xavier?
Coast safe house, and we stayed there for about 2 months. And this
Yeah, he's fucking past that.
was, do you remember what year, babe? Was it 2022 or 2023? Babe, Xavier.
Yeah.
Do you remember? Are you fucking having narcolepsy or something? Like you're just randomly dozing off. You're on the live, and I'm trying to document what year was it that we
What the fuck is happening?
met. So 2021 is when, or 2020 is when I was unlawfully forced out of my home at 2037 West Roscoe. I spent the first year and a half all alone. And then once the Cadillac was stolen, that was 2021. It was 2022 when you and I met, right? August of 2022. Yeah. So it was July or August.
Why do you even need him awake for this? You're not even like listening. You're not even letting him answer. You're just like, yeah. Mamma mia.
August of 2022 that Xavier and I met. And it was under those conditions that his brother was the DA and was going to help me with this case. And it is 2026, and to this day, I have not received any direct assistance.
Maybe that is why he sits behind her. Maybe that's an Xavier choice. Maybe he's like, I can't sit out front. I'll get car sick. But if I'm in the back seat, I won't get car sick. But it's just for him to pass it. Because, I don't know. At night, he's got to go out and do fentanyl or some shit. Or he's just fucking ODing. I really hope he's not going to die on her one day. I mean, I just hope no one dies, you know? That'd be bad. Just bad news bears, usually.
Or even an acknowledgement of what I've experienced from the state of Illinois or the district attorney's office. And my son, who was born while being subjected to these abuses, housing adversity, and being blatantly denied shelter assistance, my son Weston, has been in the DCFS custody since he was 3 days old. They tell me that he goes with Xavier's mother as the foster parent, and that he was going to be able to come home with me immediately.
Usually passengers sit in the back seat. I don't sit in the front seat when I get an Uber. I sit in the back seat. They made that like mandatory during COVID, and then I just never went in the front seat again. It's weird. It's weird having someone like, I don't know. I don't like being that close to a person. Maybe I'm crazy though. Do you guys sit in the front seat with Uber people? That's a hard choice to make. Who would you? We'll do a poll. Who would you sit with? Would you sit with fucking Heather or Xavier? Then your Uber rolls up. You got one choice. Is it gonna be Heather or is it gonna be Xavier?
Or at the very least that unsupervised visits would begin immediately, and I've still almost 2 years later not had a single unsupervised visit. Mind you, I won primary joint custody of my 3 older kids who lived with me on a full-time basis in 2018. A year later, when Dylan came home from prison, that's when we all got separated. And he started fraudulently using my aunt's addresses, my old addresses, to receive steroids, to do all sorts of stuff. So there's a street in Chicago, it's called Kingsbury. And they say that kings, who are people who don't trick on other people to get ahead. So like when you start getting cornered systemically to either turn state's witness or turn state's evidence or, you know, whatever, that these kings will bury in so much.
Right? It's weird. Like, it's not a normal thing. I don't know. My opinion.
Adversity, facts, lies, scramblings, running, other, you know, occurrences of crime, that the originally sought after information becomes like, who even fucking
Xavier has a steady lead on Heather, man.
cares about that now because it's been buried in so much bullshit. My case has been subjected to that on a number of occasions. It's a play. So we're in 2026. I have been subjected to so much. The bludgeoning, getting jumped and stabbed.
No, not poor Xavier. Poor Heather. No one likes Heather.
Being raped twice. Having all of my belongings stolen from me 3 or 4 times. Being denied assistance by the Federal Bureau of Investigations as well as local law enforcement, being helped by local law enforcement, being hindered by the state's attorney's office, being helped by the state's attorney's office. Nothing has been consistent enough to produce an outcome that's been, you know, logistically sound for practically, you know, growing a business and continuing my life in a positive direction. It's all just been like a bunch of distractions and hindrances.
Snowplows are coming through.
And the original judge, I want to mention, who heard the case when we went, you know, in front of a judge after Weston was taken at 3 days old, that judge said that as long as pending I could prove that I did have medical treatment during my pregnancy and that my doctor would testify that I don't have a mental health diagnosis.
You do have a mental health diagnosis.
That would disqualify me from parenting.
Okay.
That Weston would be home immediately. It's been 2 years.
Maybe this would being paranoid as fuck all the time. Wouldn't that be, you'd be like a liability to the kid, I'd imagine.
And my doctor did get on the stand. Dr. Haresh Saulani did get on the stand. He gave diagnosis of...
Is that what Xavier's for? Look, I haven't killed Xavier yet. He can't take care of himself. So, like, give me my kid. Obviously, I'm not gonna kill him, but... I don't know. I don't even know, man.
PTSD and ADHD. He gave that he has met me with my other 3 children, that he knows for, you know, firsthand that I won primary custody of my other 3 children and that I'm a great mother. And despite all of that, they still have not even given us so much as an unsupervised visit with Weston. I've not missed a single visit. I show up every single visit with food, clothes, a nail clipper, lotion. You know, I take care of his needs. I feed him. I love him as much as, you know, they permit me to for those 2 hours, hugging on him and playing games and watching cartoons and listening to music and dancing and learning and, you know, eating. And then I leave that office, and whether he is crying or smiling, there is not a single fucking thing that I can do about it.
You shouldn't have tried to have him in the tent. Why didn't you take Cashie's apartment? A truly desperate person would have taken Cashie's offer. Or at least seen what would have happened. Right? Should have. Should have. Ah!
Nothing. And I'm so fucking disgusted with the way that this government has allowed this to go on, that the only way my rational mind can make sense of any of this is to say our government must have been taken over by domestic or foreign terrorism. Because if our government wasn't
foreign terrorism
taken over or being controlled by some sort of opposition, there's no way in hell that something like this would have been permitted. It's been 6 years. 6 years. You can go back to the comments, and whether I turn comments off or on, YouTube always has access to the comments that people have made in the past. They will never go away. And you could read the responses that people have been giving me, the threats people were making against me openly for the last, I don't even know, 6, 7 years. It's all there. And then there are Instagrams and Facebook and YouTubes that have been ManyVids accounts, and, you know, just there's too many websites that have been used to document all of that's been going on for anyone to deny that it's been going on. So where the fuck are we with this?
People have seen it. They don't like what they see. It's pretty crazy. It's not what Heather's making it sound like. Like, it just doesn't make sense. There's an ominous force of people or person that's making her do things that are just her own decision, and they're bad decisions, and they're decisions that make you lose your kid. That's pretty much it. But Heather will make you believe that, I don't know. I don't even know how anyone could believe this. The only way I could see anyone like feeling bad enough to give her money is like, oh, she's fucking insane, so let's enable a crazy person and give them money. Because that never goes bad. When has that ever gone bad?
When is this going to be resolved? When does my baby get to come home? And when do I get to, you know, live in a space physically, mentally, psychologically, financially, where I'm not being subjected to victimizing behavior all the time? I don't want to be anyone's victim. Xavier and I basically decided, you know, that when I met him, that we were going to be allies to each other, but I communicated to him that I was not interested in a sexual relationship behind. I, at that time, had been celibate for nearly 2 years. I had slept with no one consensually and of my own free will since Dylan and I broke up. And with the exception of Xavier, that's still the case for today. Every single person that I slept with since Dylan and I broke up, I was either sexually assaulted by, raped by, or they basically would offer me shelter after days of not having anywhere to go and no rest and no food, and basically say either you're gonna allow me to fuck you or you're gonna get the fuck out and go back outside.
Who did that, Mudpit? Wait down a bit.
The street. And when my body and mind were too weak, I would just lay there. I have not had sex with anyone consensually, not a single person other than Xavier, and even that would have been completely different if the circumstances were different. I mean, completely different. And I need advocacy now. This is 6 years unanswered. No one has discussed anything with me directly about any of this, and anytime that they do, it always goes around in that circle of the classic narrative that Heather must have something wrong with her mental health. So
Heather should just like get help for her mental health. And then maybe she could have her kid. I don't know. If she like, I just think it's the paranoia, really. Do narcissists raise kids? Should narcissists raise kids? I think if she got over all these delusions, then I think not like they want to take people's kids, right? They want Heather to be able to be a parent. She's not able to be, clearly. So who knows? We'll see how it plays out. I don't know when the next court date is, but I'm sure Heather will tell us, because it's what Heather does. She tells us things she's not supposed to. I don't think it matters if we know. But I just don't know. I haven't heard what it is yet.
Not wanting to be bludgeoned and stabbed, not wanting to be unlawfully separated from my infant child or my other children, that qualifies as a mental health disorder? I don't think it does. I don't think it does. On top of that, the people who are responsible or authoritatively for being with my child when I'm not around right now are dumber and really, really a lot worse with regards to professionalism than I am. And by dumber, I don't mean like, you know, I don't mean that as an insult. I mean like they know less about things that matter than me. They're more ignorant, we'll say, than I am. And these are people who are being permitted to be with my child in my absence when I'm not around. But I'm not even allowed to be with my child in the absence of the DCFS professionals. So Xavier and I did not have a sexual or romantic relationship for the first approximately 6 to 8 weeks that we were together every day. It was under the guise of
6 to 8 weeks? That's a long time.
I bought what he was selling with regards to his brother, the DA, wanting to pick up my case and help me and prevent me from being sexually assaulted ever again. And I thought that that's what he was there for. And
I've said this before too. This guy's fucking asleep in the backseat there. That's useless. All of the I haven't even seen him. I've never seen Xavier be useful. Not once. He's completely useless. I was gonna say 90% of the time. It's 99.99999. I can't think of a time that Xavier was useful to anybody.
And that's where I'll leave it for today. I have to go over the next 2 years with my notes and my belongings with me because there are a lot of details about where we went, why, and what was the catalyst to push us, sometimes quite literally with no other option, into the situations that resulted subsequent to our meeting, and to, brought us to where we are today. But I want to thank you guys for hanging in there with me. I know this has been so much fucking information, and I know that that's intentional. There are a lot of people that do not want people to know.
You're in charge of this. You should write notes down before you get live so you don't repeat yourself so much.
What is really going on with us for one reason or the other, and a lot of them, most of them, are nefarious reasons, malicious reasons, because they are benefiting from people not knowing what's going on. There are people who have directly intercepted donations that were meant for my family and I and reallocated them to causes that I did not consent to, leaving my family and I in a space of very low funding. And then there are also sponsors.
Who? How? How would they do such a thing?
That follow through and through, keep their word all the time, that I've been able to rely on for this entire time. And it seems like they have probably other responsibilities, and so that ebbs and flows. And not to mention the fact that the external control and harassment with regards to this case has been absolutely obscene. The amount of it is just undescribable. In addition to that, they're taking really extenuating circumstances to kind of keep my message on the low. They have taken it as far as to put us into technological boxes where we have been prohibited and inhibited communication.
Maybe. I mean, when you disappear for 2 years, Heather, you're like, no one's around. Like, no one's watching Heather like they used to. I look at other people's channels too. No one's really raking in views like we used to. I used to be able to be like 7K views. Heather video, easy 7K. Heather short video, or just a short, get like 20K views. Now, I don't know, maybe 2,000. Maybe 3,000 if we're lucky. On a good day. It's like, it's your fault, Heather. It's your fault. It's not some evil force. People lose interest in people who disappear for 2 fucking years. Unless they're Christian or something. But like, even, would Christian ever disappear for 2 years? Has he ever disappeared for 2 years? I don't know. What do I could do? I think we could bring her back. We could bring her back, guys. We gotta start being like club promoters and passing out posters or some shit. I was actually thinking about this. I gotta start. I don't know why I didn't do it this time. I gotta start titling these streams like "The Worst Mom" on YouTube or something, or to get people from an outside audience into the Heather sphere, because it's pretty dry. It's pretty dry. Maybe we'll talk to Repzilla and be like, I do like the worst mom on TikTok. Look at this person. I'll do all the work for you. Just get it the fuck out there. But I don't know. Maybe we can just organically do it without having to fucking be crazy. That seems like a lot of work. You know how lazy I am.
With people that normally would be allies and excellent resources for us. Lastly, they've been cooking audio, which means that they have gathered sound bites in the voices of the people around me the most, that I most commonly, am in cahoots.
You never knew about Heather Gillespie before me? She's the original Brooke.
With whether it's my kids, my mom, my friends, and they've gathered sound bites on all these people, and they're creating cooking audio, meaning they're creating a narrative that would result in more funding for one of their causes, and then they're having my friends and family.
I can say Live After Lockup in the name. I think I have before. It doesn't really get a lot of clicks. I don't think Live After Lockup is a super popular show. Maybe people who watch the current seasons. Heather's like an old Love After Lockup person, right? But it's not bad. We could try that. I haven't tried that in a long time. I'm trying to think of the last time I did do that.
Sound bites so that it sounds like to some other third party that they're trying to sell this cause on, like my family and I are communicating, you know, and just communicating is not a problem. It's the narrative that they are running. A lot of times there have been a lot of prejudice and racist interventions, meaning there's been a lot of game playing. So if a sponsor is a black guy and he wants to give $4,000 to my cause to help me get Christmas gifts for my kids, and there's
why are we bringing race into this? If he's a black guy, gives me $4,000. Are we just trying to manifest this?
the black girl in between that black guy and the black girl and me receiving money, they will, one of the channels of chatter is what I call it, either communication that's harassment in person, online, through messages, emails, they will begin to make it about race. Oh, so you're going to help a white girl but not a black girl, huh? It will literally lay.
No, I was gonna be like, I could see them being like, you shouldn't donate to Heather. She's a bad fucking person. Do you know this, and that? But I can't. You're gonna donate to a white person, not a black person? She thinks this is happening? What the fuck?
Into my sponsor. I mean, fucking extort him, call him names, dig into his past, present, or future and make him feel like shit about himself. Anything other than put a gun in his mouth and say, give me the money, not her. Let's put it that way. And hey, they could have done that too, I really don't know. But there has been so much money that has been designated for the solutions with regards to this situation and rehabilitating my family, and it's been intercepted, you know, so.
Didn't you prove this? Like, I get. Can I see screenshots of this conversation that allegedly happened or whatever? She says, yeah, sound bites. Show me these sound bites. I think she was talking about her family for some reason, but this is wacky.
I'll let you guys go for now. I am on the expressway heading back downtown so that I could get started with work. I need to fix my eyebrows and put on a little bit of makeup. I hope you all have a fabulous holiday season. I definitely need the sponsors to step in. I don't know the best.
Come on, sponsors. Step in. What are we sponsoring exactly? Like, as a sponsor, what do I get? Like, what is this? What are we sponsoring? You know when you sponsor, like, I don't know, someone doing a run for charity or some shit? Like, what are we sponsoring Heather for? To be a lunatic?
Best way to even
sponsor my mental health spiral
and ask for donations without putting sponsors at risk in 2026. If there is some sort of system in place, I know previously there have been people who have been helping us with meals, people who have been donating cash, people who have been offering to help with transportation on a lot of these issues. So if you guys are, you know, still currently around and you're aware of the disconnect of what could have possibly been causing these huge issues, number one, Xavier's phone has not been replaced. It's been going on 7 months that Xavier hasn't had a phone line.
Funny thing for getting 5 memberships. I appreciate you.
So if you guys could please resolve that so I can get back to driving regular Uber, that'd be great. And number two,
wagon by Christmas, honey.
At George Egg 7386 super chatted $2. Dude is passed out lol.
Yeah, no, Xavier in the back there, super passed out. Thank you for the two. Is it George G? That's, I think Xavier had a superpower. He'd be passing out.
It's been 6 years.
He's really good at it. He can pass out anywhere.
It's January since I had my own home and my children lived with me. I don't engage in any sort of illicit activities, and I would like to have a stable home and enough money in the bank to cover my expenses for a month. I came up with a literal play-by-play of how I would be okay, how I would buy a house, save $500 a month. I even made a budget, and I only need to stick to that budget. I only need to make one.
So there's $500 of wiggle room in the budget if you're trying to save. So like you're gonna be fine. Why didn't you pay rent last month until the end of the month? What is up with Heather? Why is she so fucking crazy?
$159.70.
Just the things she says and does, they piss me off. Maybe that's obvious though. Maybe that's it with everyone. Like that's why I.
$2 minimum each day, and I could have 500 in the savings account each day, but still to this day, no one has even
Neither does Tinkerbell, and it makes me sad.
gone over the issues with the intentional underdrafting of my PNC as well as my Wintrust accounts. So if whoever was around when I was getting fucked over about 6 months ago could come back and take a look at the forensics on that bank account and correct those issues, that'd be great. Also, if someone could please help us out, Xavier and I both need new phone lines and phones, and someone without my permission, knowledge, or consent took my real phone, my iPhone 12 Pro, the one that has
and replace it with a fake phone?
The majority of the information and accounts that I can't, access from another device on it, and shattered it while I was asleep.
Apparently, she rolled over on it or something, shattered it. The back plate to it, like this thing. She broke that. Apparently, that's what she's saying.
So I went to sleep and it was fine, completely intact. And I woke up and it was like this.
Yeah, see? Like that.
So I treat my belongings with care and respect, and I don't have the money to just freely replace my stuff. I need a budget for Christmas gifts. I haven't had my eyebrows done. My Botox is overdue. There's a lot of shit that I have.
I'm saying she rolled over on it. She's saying someone broke into her house and then took it and smashed it and then left it there in her bed. And I think she just fucking, or it fell off her bed. She might have fell off her bed too.
Going on in my life, yes, the way that you look definitely contributes to your ability to get paid. So yes, I need the sponsors to come back in and step up, and I need you to follow through.
The way she says it too. It's like kind of like Dark Side Phil. I need you guys to fucking donate to me. Okay? We're not hitting the fucking goal. I'm not it's literally like him. But more bitchy. At least Dark Side Phil plays video games. What does Heather do for us? Just this. This is getting old, man. She needs to do something to spice it up a bit. I appreciate the new canon. Like, I appreciate that she's like mixing it up with the lore. She's trying to give us some new shit, but like, there's gotta be something. She needs to do stuff. What's the next thing we're gonna do? Just drive around bitching. It's turning into Brooke.
And make sure that I'm receiving the resources that are being specifically designated for my family and my case. I hope you guys have a great day. When we pick up on part 8 out of 12, we'll discuss what happened after Xavier and I left his father's home, the safe house in the Gold Coast, and where we...
So the intro, when they're like, I don't know, Xavier's playing guitar and they're in that place and like it says like the money bags or whatever and this and that. Like, I think that's the Gold Coast place, like the safe house. Right, let me grab it, and then you guys who might be more acquainted with this can let me know. It's just loading. Oh, loading. So around like this place. This place? Is this place the Gold Coast? Gold Coast Apartments? The safe house? With a Scratchers the Maniac. I think this is a safe house. Because, yeah, Heather made this. Heather made this fucking thing together. I don't know what this is. Is that the house? They're not looking after her very well. Xavier, aka X. Anyways.
I'm getting ready for work. Just so I could get through this a little more. So I meet Xavier. We spend that first night where? At the church. What church? The church across the street from Whole Foods at Chicago and State. Why did I spend the first night with him there? Because, Heather Gillespie.
Just because.
Because I didn't trust that he was actually taking me to a real safe house and I didn't want to get raped again. And any other time that
Okay, we're gonna try
these
this.
fucking men, guys, boys,
Sorry.
because
now
had promised me assistance, they took me to a safe place without asking.
We're gonna test something. Let's go highlight a comment, like by Mud Pits, right? And then we play it again.
For anything in
I
return,
should be able to press
claiming
it.
that I'd just be able to sleep, and then they, without asking for anything in return.
There we go. Okay. I figured out I can, as long as I press the fucking screen over here, for whatever reason, then we can go back and forward, and I'm not going to be like an awkward duck or emu when I'm like, I don't know how to work a fucking computer.
Return.
It's YouTube's fault, right? It's YouTube's fault.
Claiming that I'd just be able to sleep, and then they sexually assaulted me. So I was apprehensive and afraid, and I did not want to get raped again. And this is the truth. This is not a lie. This is not a story. This is not a ploy for attention. This is reality. I spent several weeks at Xavier's father's house, which was referred to me as a safe house when I first agreed to go there. In those weeks that I was there, I never saw Xavier's dad ever. I think the first time I ever saw his dad was the day that we had to leave.
When you were like threatening him with a knife?
If we're being honest. And what would we do while I was there? The same thing I was always doing, applying for work.
A bunch of drugs.
Desperately applying for work. And I'm someone who was running multiple businesses.
Yeah, no, she was bludgeoned.
Staffing agencies, events and promotions, working in promotions actively.
That's probably the one thing that, like, she's the most truthful about out of all the things. Like, when she said she was stabbed with a screwdriver 7 times, she was stabbed once with, like, a little, one of those fucking multi-tool knife things that was, like, that big. It said it was, like, less than an inch, and that the person only used it because Heather kept pursuing them, even when they were trying to leave. And they didn't even think it would defend them, and it didn't really. But she turned that into stabbed 7 times with a screwdriver and jumped by 4 ladies. She's trying to fight them because she's a maniac.
Selling content and sexy content, spicy content sales. All of this on the heels of a 6-year career at Northwestern as the administrator of endocrinology and rheumatology. Fitness, personal training, and a 10-year career in healthcare overall, besides the 6 years at Northwestern, or including the 6 years at Northwestern. So I'm just not a person who sits around. I've always been dynamic. And while Xavier and I were waiting for his brother, the district attorney, to kind of come through with instructions on how this case was going to get into court, mind you, I had already gone to the DA and the state's attorney's office and in person been declined the opportunity to even speak with someone multiple times. The Daly Center, the courthouse in Arlington Heights, Cook County. And I had attempted to involve other counties and jurisdictions, Lake as well as DuPage. I even got as desperate as to go to Georgia seeking shelter because I was being locked out of the shelter system here in Chicago. And as I said, forced to walk around until I got so exhausted that they looked.
Heather's even talked about it before too, that like she wanted to fight these girls. She followed them to the gas station. She switches up a little bit. She'll be like, they followed me to the gas station. In the police report, that's not how it goes. And then she confronted them. They didn't want to fight, and then they were trying to leave, and she kept going. She's being evil. I can't remember what stream it was, but we covered it. And I don't know where the police reports are. Somewhere. I saw the clip, other things. Anyways, it's yeah, that's how we know about it.
Looked the other way while I was sexually assaulted. And if I wasn't being sexually assaulted.
But I wouldn't believe, just to let you know, I wouldn't believe anything Dylan says. Dylan Smith is a fucking idiot, asshole, douchebag who might have helped not murder someone. He could have prevented someone from dying, but he didn't because he's a little pussy bitch. I don't like Dylan Smith, so I wouldn't ever cite him as a source of information.
Assaulted by someone on the player game side. I was being harassed and stalked by an investigator or one of their investigators. I would be so exhausted, I would go to a park and go to sleep in the middle of the fucking grass because I would have been up for 3 days terrified that I was going to get raped again. And they would let their kids like throw balls at me or like run bikes over me while I was asleep or whatever. I've been bullied from both sides.
Run bikes over you? What?
So we're now in 2000. Oh yeah. Okay. So
She's like the bionic woman. Why are you always riding bikes over Heather? She's just like unscathed from it.
Xavier and I are there at the Stone Street address, and that's a safe house that we're waiting for his brother to come help us. And randomly, with little or no warning, one morning, I wake up and something just feels different. And I have this sixth sense that they're gonna fuck with us. And of course, they curate this giant, fake, dramatic production and have his dad say that we have to leave.
Oh, they do a fake production. Is that what do you mean that you have to leave? Because you're being crazy.
And I'm saying this is supposed to be a safe house. The DA is supposed to be helping with this, blah, blah, blah. Law enforcement.
I don't think Xavier like cleared it with his dad that he was gonna just move Heather Gillespie into his house.
Shows up. You could see all my belongings on the video where law enforcement shows up. Now you know that I had all of this, all of these items, and there's proof that restitution is owed. Because following law enforcement showing up and telling us that we had to go, and me saying, what the fuck is going on? I've been getting raped, robbed, beaten, sexually assaulted, physically assaulted, financially assaulted since 2019. When is this going to end? Extorted by cops, all this stuff. And they just kind of always answer like, huh, you know, like they've definitely seen and heard things like this going on.
I think Xavier does make it better. Heather's always doing some kind of crazy thing, like her eyebrows like very chunky sometimes. I don't know how else to put it. I don't know what makes her inspired, like what she's inspired by when she's doing her makeup.
Before, and like they don't give a fuck is the way that, you know, it felt to me. And then when I would like start to lose hope and like start to give up is when they would come back through and kind of backpedal and kind of try to at least make face, you know, save face. So that day my belongings were all in a Rubbermaid bin, and they were left in a safe location in the bushes at one of these high rises, with a note that had my phone number and said that I was going to come back with a ride to pick it all up and please to leave it there. And it was all stolen, all of it, every single thing, my shoes, my clothes, my laptop, my lighting equipment, my everything.
You already went over this in the other part. Why are we going over this again? Or did she lose her stuff twice like this?
Stolen. After that, Xavier and I had nowhere to go, no income, and we would sometimes sleep on the floor of the garage of the Stone Street address, waiting for assistance. The entire time, his father would say that he was getting us an
Please don't steal this stuff. I'm coming back for it.
Apartment, and that I should schedule viewings. I would schedule viewings to go look at listings, and his father would never follow through with the money for us to move in.
And they let all like 400 people off of felony probation. We were all in violation of probation, and they didn't have any room in the prisons. And the judge said, Merry Christmas.
At Velvet D3360 super chatted $9.99. Just want to try some emojis. Exploding head disguised face, hit the like button. Smack it. Exploding head, I'm glad my loco is back, run X. Please you and logo run. Thank you Steve for everything, heart folded hands, medium light skin tone grin.
Aw, thank you, Velvet. Yeah, I always wonder what how Ashley's gonna describe the emojis, right? I've never heard the exploding head emoji yet, or the what was that, disguise one? A little disguise guy? Thank you for the 10. I appreciate you. I fucking Heather, you calm down. My thing's glitching out. Hold me now. Hold me now. Okay, I think we're good. I'm scared. I'm scared to go over Mark on Monday because of the Logos thing. Apparently Logos got pepper sprayed. That's not good.
I had limited and intermittent contact with my own friends and family members, and my children and I remained in contact nearly every single day. Approximately I would say 3 months of being houseless and sleeping either outdoors, not at all, or on the floor of the garage of the Stone Street address, begging for assistance, going online, filling out anywhere from 1 to 500 applications per month, sending out resumes, updating LinkedIn, updating
What does this sound like?
Facebook, updating Insta, creating new accounts, calling lawyers, calling civil rights and domestic advocates. Approximately, I would say maybe 3 months later, we're sitting there with no luck, no assistance, no nothing, no direction. And we decide we have to get out of Chicago. It's starting to snow. It's November. It's cold. And we have no way to deal with winter. We have no money, we have no job, and we don't know what to do.
Bum, bum, bum. Better get a tent.
So Xavier and I are like, all right, well, I've got this tremendous social media following. What if we, in an effort to survive the winter, but also continue to grow my social, what if we decide that we will walk to Cali, walk on foot?
I might fall off the wagon by Christmas, honey.
At Cindy_Lou_102. Super chatted $2. Steve. 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 Steve.
Steve. Is that what it's called? Is that what I named the emoji? Thank you for the 2, Cindy. I remember them walking to California. Sorry, trying to walk to California. And then she realized she was pregnant. Not even halfway, and turned back. And Xavier was really stinky. She was like, he needs to take a shower. He smells like really bad. He had tea tree oil in his hair. Do you guys remember the California? That's what we should do. The next time, like, Heather's not giving us much on Friday. We're going to want to do like a recap or something, or we do a blast from the past. We got to do the California walk, because that was fucking... We haven't seen that in forever. I've only seen it once too. It would be better to see it like with everything that I know now than I think it was like 2 or 3 months, and then me knowing Heather Gillespie that I watched like that saga.
With all of our belongings and bring our social media followers with us.
Yeah, they wanted to walk to California from Chicago.
So Xavier's like, yeah, that's a fucking dope idea. And Xavier likes to surf and longboard. So he's like, let's go. And he spent a lot of time living in Hawaii and Cali. So he's like, let's go.
That's why his one of his exes lives on the Skids Row, as Heather calls it.
So we start walking. Mind you, Xavier has a longboard and a bike, but we start walking with all of our shit in luggages and a wagon to California. We have $0, nowhere to go, and it's cold in Chicago. And we're still having those days in Chicago where it's like not that cold and we could definitely survive. But I'm just completely concerned about what the hell is going to happen in the winter, the real winter months, when, you know, where would we sleep?
Opposed to the fake winter months.
You can't sleep outside.
Those pesky fake winter months.
At North Avenue Beach when it's -20 with snow on the ground, right? So we start walking and we have all of our shit in a wagon, and I'm like, I'm going to make the best of it. I'm going to be positive. I'm going to turn it into a publicity experience. I'm going to ask for donations. I'm going to send any donated money that I have to support my children. I'm going to use the link card to send groceries and food to the kids' addresses through Amazon Fresh. They deliver, and like,
the dads don't like that shit.
Like, I'm going to make the best out of this situation. I'm going to keep my family posted on what's going on. I'm going to let everyone know.
Her kid had a kid. And Heather posted a picture of her with her grandkid, I guess you'd call it. And I don't know, just having her Heather claws all over it, like, not like that, but like, I'm trying to do like an evil Heather grin face. And then her daughter in the background is like flipping her off. Good, wholesome family shit. Why am I bringing this up? I forget. I'll remember when I play whatever the fuck she's describing.
You know, the details and the updates to.
Oh, her sending her kids fucking shit. I don't think her kids like her. I think her kids want her to fuck off.
the case and the situation, and when Xavier's district attorney brother is finally
exactly, Tank, that face,
able to help us, we'll just come back by bus, you know, no big deal. Xavier agrees. We start walking. We walked for approximately a month, I would say a little under, maybe 3 weeks, and got to, where did we get? Ohio?
No,
Iowa?
Davenport.
Des Moines, Davenport, Iowa.
how far is that?
And no. We about halfway in, so about a week in, I wake up so sick to my stomach. So sick. And we find out I'm pregnant. I lose consciousness. I literally like almost die.
What?
Suffocate on myself. And
I don't remember that. She shit herself?
I'm like unconscious on a train platform. Ambulance has to come pick us up.
Yeah, they didn't document this, did they?
They take us to Del Nor. We were not there for any psychological issue, but while I'm there, they diagnose and code my visit as a psychological issue, just an unknown generic psychological issue.
Well, okay, well, what's happening? Xavier's like, my girlfriend's almost dying. They're like, why? It's like, I don't know. She just like got on this train platform, shit herself, and then she's like, I'm pregnant, I'm dying. I can see why they might classify it as that.
I have asked for a formal administrative audit and accused this medical group of fraud so many fucking times, it's not even funny. Remember, my background is in medical law and ethics and administration. That's what I went to school for. That's what I worked in healthcare.
Withdrawal would make a lot of sense, actually.
For 10 years to do. So we get there and they basically...
See, look at their eyebrows right now. Those are pretty thick eyebrows.
Tell me I'm pregnant. They didn't know it was twins yet. That wasn't Weston. That was the twins. They tell me I'm pregnant and they tell me I have hypoglycemia, which is the equivalent to low blood sugar. Okay, what do I have to do, you know, to make it through? So we keep going and...
To California?
Basically just run out of ambition in Des Moines after literally like 17 calendar days of walking through nothing but fucking cornfields, pregnant with everything I own and limited communication on my phone and having to beg for food and just the most demeaning and dehumanizing things that a person could ever experience, experiencing all of them.
You're the one who decided to do all that. You're like, that's gonna be a good idea. Xavier said it was a dope idea too. Wait, how else did you guys think you were gonna get money? I don't understand.
Like all the time. And we come back to Chicago. I'm pregnant.
A Pennywise head?
Winter is about to start. We consider the walk a fail. We didn't really grow in our social media following.
She's blinking too much and she's scaring me. I can't look. I don't know. It's scaring me.
We had no destination. We were getting messed with by law enforcement.
Is it Des Moines? I don't know how to pronounce it either.
Every single day, anytime we'd put up the tent to get some sleep. We had no budget. And I ended up raising enough money for 2 Greyhound tickets, and then we came back to Chicago. We spent the next 3 weeks sleeping in a tent. The day after we returned to Chicago...
Every time I look at her, she's like just more crazy looking.
I saw an advertisement on Insta for Getir, Getir. It was an e-bike based delivery service that was based in neighborhood. So your neighborhood is targeted, meaning you have like your team of delivery people that stay in that zip code and that area. I was in the corporate office doing hiring, firing, not hiring and firing, but hiring. So I was doing
Des Moines?
Onboarding interviews and follow-up for onboarding interviews more specifically. And I would sometimes cover for other things and, you know, help my superiors when I could. And I got nothing but positive feedback. I was fantastic with everyone, easy to work with. and I was pregnant. And I found out while I was working there that I was pregnant, not with just one baby, but with twins. And I worked at Gatier for about 6 months. And the day before Christmas, I started going into preterm labor. I lost one of
This is the Christmas story.
the twins to preterm labor the day after Christmas and ended up hospitalized for preterm labor. One of the babies was born in the shower of the Airbnb that we were staying in Wrigley, or near like the Addison Blue Line. And the other baby had to be surgically removed by DNC at Swedish Covenant Hospital. Yet another time that I was seen in the hospital for a health issue. Yet another time, the health issue was miscoded as a psychological issue. I would like to file charges against all of the healthcare systems involved in coding or billing or diagnosing with a psych issue. It has definitely played a part in what's going on with Weston. There's never been a psych issue. I've never gone out.
I think there's been a psych issue. So they're using all these hospital visits as psych issues, I guess, against her in court to show that she's probably not fit to be a parent, and she's freaking the fuck out about it. And look at that face. Look at look at it.
Out of care or out of touch with my internist, and all of that has been miscoded. And as I said before, I have filed formally for medical record audits 6 or 7 times, no less. And I do have the paper trail of everyone I spoke with and everyone I submitted documented evidence to. I've never done drugs. I'm going to end Section 8 here with us having just had lost the twins to preterm labor and me being a full-time employee of Gatier. Xavier was working at Jimmy John's delivering sandwiches, and his manager was keeping his paychecks. So I'm going to end it right there. That was 2022, December. So Xavier and I had only known each other for 5 months at that time. But I will pick up with 9 out of 12 tomorrow. We have court this week for Weston. This is court date number 22. 22 court dates so far, and 0 has been accomplished. And we received, well...
0 has been accomplished? I think they've been learning about Heather Gillespie and Xavier, what kind of people they are.
I finished all of the recommended services that they've asked us to do, successfully completed them with letters of completion and certificates of completion. And I'm just finding out from my attorney that 6 months ago they filed a motion that's going to be heard supposedly tomorrow. It's all bullshit. Everything that they do in this court date is all like, it makes no sense. They know that they're in the wrong for keeping my child from me.
X's career? X's Domino's career?
They know they have no ethical or legal legs to stand on with regards to continuing to do so. And I'm standing here in my trunk right now. I have a service plan that says Weston's suggested return home date was last year on his birthday, and another one that says this year on his birthday, which is in 2 months. I've had an apartment for over a year now. So they can't use houselessness as the issue. I do drug tests randomly and have never failed the drug test. The only thing I ever test for is weed, which is legal in the state of Illinois.
Oh, okay. Test positive for.
I've drank 2 times in the last 3 years, alcohol. I don't party. I don't do...
Why were you trying to drink at the casino the other night then if you don't drink?
Drugs. I show up to every visit. I work a full-time job, 50 plus hours.
She was taking shots in her Instagram stories like not even a month ago.
A week. Please give me back my child now. And if you can't, where the fuck is the rest of the United States of America when I need advocacy? Because if this was going on with one of your family members, I guarantee you would be waiting for someone to jump in.
United States of America, where you at?
Where are all of the moral and ethically sound groups? And
I don't even know if I can make my eyes that big. I don't think I could. Like, if I tried. I don't know, it's crazy to me.
And civil rights groups and internal affairs groups and systems of checks and balances that are responsible for making sure that everything is running with integrity in and out of these court systems. Where is all of that? Where are you guys? Where is my advocacy team?
Where is Nick?
And when does this giant battle that I'm fighting you know, get to be over so that I could focus on building businesses and, you know, making fun and memorable experiences for my children. That's where my energy should be going. Making a
That ship sailed.
great life for myself, earning a fair, decent living wage, supporting my family, you know.
Where's Bruce Lee as well? Bruce Lee, Nick Albuquerque, where are your guys? Where are you guys at?
And moving forward, but I haven't been permitted to do much of that, and I've been in the line of fire more than not, you know. So that's the update. Sponsors, please tap in. I don't know. I know there are people way smarter than me who can identify, you know, more practical solutions for the things that have been going on. Please tap in and help my family and I. In addition to that, they've been running my interaction with Vivi on like repeat for the last several years. It's like up like this. Nothing ever happens. They just invent and curate reasons for us to be.
It's having a teenage daughter. I don't think you know how to have a teenage daughter because you like left them, basically. That's how they would see it, I'm sure. Like you chose Dylan over them. And you haven't been a part of their life in the past 5 years, so like, of course, your relationship's gonna be up and down with them. What the fuck you think? Maybe with the younger ones, like you could like rewrite the narrative or whatever, or maybe if you like, you actually apologize or did things right. But the older ones, like, they're smart enough to know by now. So if you're still doing the same shit over and over and over again, then they're not gonna like it. She was asking for money for a prom ticket to go to Vivi's fucking graduation, and she had to reach out to people and be like, don't give my mom money. She's not going to use it for the prom ticket. Like, it's embarrassing to even have to say that. So it's just like, I'm not surprised. I don't know why she's surprised.
To be argumentative with each other. It's like my life has turned into someone's like sitcom or reality show special.
Oh, she is skipping the Montclair in the 12 parts of Christmas. Why did she? How did she do that? Was that part 4? That kind of got lost in the shuffle or disappeared there?
Or like source of entertainment or like a shield from whatever the fuck they have going on. And I'm just...
maybe?
My father had cancer. 80% of his jaw was removed a month ago, and they rebuilt it with bone from his femur and tibia. My sister had to take a leave of absence from work because of that. My mother was let go of her job at Crunch Fitness. They absolved the position after only 2 weeks and 13 years with Export Fitness, and Export went out of business, and she got a new job, so that's good. Thank God for that. But I have been working 7 out of 7 days a week to sustain, you know, having a roof over my head and my car being paid.
I think maybe Heather thinks that this is going to help her in court somehow, all these stories, so maybe she's intentionally leaving out Montclair because none of those stories would paint her in a good light. Maybe.
And I'm still not making even...
Because the way Heather sees it is like, the court isn't listening to her shit, so she thinks like, if they won't listen to me, then I'll put it out into the public, and then somehow that'll make them listen. They're not going to give a shit. And no one else is going to give a shit. But I guess like maybe in her mind, she knows she gets some money out of it. I don't fucking know. But at least we get some content, and we get to find out a bit of what's going on. And crazy Heather and Xavier's world.
And whatever the federal minimum wage is on some days. So we have a big fucking problem here. I don't know if it's specific just to my life or to the entire country. But sponsors, if you could tap in, and if there's anyone else with information who could assist and advocate for and support, that would be fantastic, because, you know, enough is really, really enough. My son is about to be 2, and I have multiple service plans stating that he was recommended to be returned home last year and again on this year. I've had his pack and play in my apartment for over a year, so I don't know what they're waiting on. This is a clear violation of my civil rights, human rights, all rights. I've been financially manipulated, sexually assaulted a number of times, withheld access to legal assistance and more. Like I said, there's got to be someone smarter out there who can figure this out.
Hold on now.
Please do.
What is happening? 2 kilobytes per second. No. Oh. Cindy. Think. Hold on. Heather. Stop. No, look, everything's going crazy. Are we good? Are we good? Cindy, thank you for gifting 20 memberships. I appreciate you. I don't know. I pressed something and then QuickTime tried to open. Why are you trying to open? Get out of here. Fucking QuickTime. Are we good though? Oh, scary. Alright, we gotta get the... I think there's at least live chats for each one of these things, which I was scared that one of them wouldn't have, I guess, live chat. I swear one of them, the one that I sniped, she had live chat turned off. So one of them must not have it.
One Heather GEEHLGB law. It's Wednesday, December the 10th. I have court tomorrow, December the 11th, with regards to Weston, my almost 2-year-old son, who is separated from Xavier and I at...
I don't know what the bus stop photos are. I don't use Reddit.
3 days old on our last day of the hospital after I gave birth, under the allegations that I was mentally incompetent to be a mother, despite the fact that I have participated in all of the services as requested and ordered by the courts. We've still not been given...
I pressed something. I pressed something and then it was like... And it was a coincidence. I swear, you guys are gonna think I'm crazy. It was a coincidence that Cindy gifted that. Maybe it was both at the same time. I turned it off. It's like, you know how I used to like go ba 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 ba. I turned that off because when the internet's fine, that's fine. But when the internet's bad, it's a really bad time in life. So technically, the gift shouldn't have done anything, but I pressed. I was like I said, QuickTime tried opening, and then this other thing tried opening, and then everything was like, had to fix it.
In any increase in our access to our child, we still only see him 3 days a week for 2 hours each visit, and sometimes they cancel on Fridays. So that's been the same. The very first judge said that we would have unsupervised visits beginning immediately. My doctor of over 13 years testified on the stand under oath that I didn't have any qualifying, or rather disqualifying, medical conditions that would keep me from being a parent to my children. And this will be our 23rd court date tomorrow. 23 court dates tomorrow.
Jordan.
So I'm just trying to get in some Uber driving. I have not been able to leave Xavier.
I like that cat game. I got that skateboarding game too. Remember that skateboarding game where it's like you make a deal with the devil or some shit? And I was like, I'll buy this game if it's like $30 or less, and it was $30. It was $30 after tax on the dot. So, we gotta play that, but I want to finish the cat game first. I like that cat game. That's what you get. Walks through the forest in the cat game. And some other games. Call of Duty pissed me off. I don't know when we're gonna play Call of Duty next. Might be a long time.
Xavier, because someone stole his cell phone. He was having like severe mental health crises when I would leave him to go work driving regular Ubers. So I've been doing Uber Eats and DoorDash.
You call it Uber Eats now? Uber's too long of a word. We call Uber Eats. Uber Eats.
But I need to redo my DoorDash application because when I changed my phone number, for some reason it won't let me update it to the new number and like keep the same account. It keeps saying that I need to re-register. So that's going on. Alexis, my 12-year-old, allegedly moved out of the city of Chicago. Her father bought a house in the suburbs, and I have not been able to speak to her for 3 or 4 minutes, for longer than 3 or 4 minutes, in quite some time, actually. It's been really ridiculous. If
Tony Hawk?
we're being honest.
The Tony Hawk games? I used to be really good at those games. I mean, like, probably still am. Maybe not. Those were like my favorite games, the Tony Hawk games.
With each other. I have these intermittent, ever since You Know Who, the release of Dylan Smith and the show Love After Lockup going on the air, my life has not been the same, and not in a good way. Like, it's been really fucked up. Things intermittently get better and worse, but bro, it has been fucked up. My kids lived with me prior to all of that, full time. So to be going through this, it's just been really wild. There's no clear explanation for what's going on when these intermittent lapses in communication begin. There's no warning for them. There's no one saying...
For anyone new, they weren't with her full time. When she was with, like, her actual kids, I guess. I mean, like, when she was with her... Sorry. I said that wrong. When she was with the parents of her kid, like her baby daddies, then yeah, because they were all together at once, like, you know, primary custody or whatever. I don't know why she keeps saying that. I guess it's to paint her as like a great mom. You haven't had any custody for 5 years, so what are we doing?
Okay, we're going to close off your phone for the safety of yourself, your children. Okay, you know, this is going on or that's going on. There's just a lot of fucking bullshit. A lot of what I believe to be trackable, traceable, data collectionable explanations. If we can track, you know, when these intermittent lapses in communication began last time, we can get a better idea of why they continue to go on. Because there will be like 6 to 9 months of no issues with communication, and everything is going back to like normal, and then randomly with no warning, it's like I'm dealing with the situation as if it were the first time it ever took place. Fuck up, fuck down, or fuck any fucking way for that matter. How about everyone just stops fucking for a while? It's Christmas.
At Kitacard super chatted $9.99. Or Steve, I just noticed how beautifully blue your eyes are.
They are
Blue
they are
heart.
blue. I don't know if you can see them. They're pretty blue. They're like I don't know, that's the color of them. Thank you for the 10. I appreciate you.
And it's definitely not. This has been going on cyclically since 2000 and I would say 15. And then it
Yeah, primary joint custody. My bad. Primary joint custody.
kind of broke, you know, into a kind of larger issue in 2019 when Dylan got released and the show Love After Lockup hit the air. So tomorrow's court again, intermittent communication issues with Alexis. Vivi moved to the burbs as well with her
To the burbs.
significant other and the baby, and my son is still with his dad's brothers and parents.
My dad's brothers and parents? His dad's brothers and his grandparents? Why isn't he with his dad?
And then, you know, he's 17, BB's 19. The problem that I'm having is that I really don't care how old you are. If you're my child and I gave birth to you, I feel as though I have a responsibility to know what's going on in your life, if you need help with anything, if everything's all right. You know, do you have food? Did you eat dinner? Do you have homework? What's new? And since 2019, when he came out of prison, all of the roles in my life have just been like rewritten, and it's been like not me that's been doing it, and I don't have a clear understanding, ideology, or explanation for how to make it what I want it to be, you know, what it's always been, or even if that's what like I want it to be anymore. So I don't know, you guys, it's just been fucking weird and wild, and
Been fucking weird. It's been fucking weird, you guys.
I have so many things that I want to be doing, consulting, healthcare consulting, from an administrative, clinical, and technological perspective. I'd like to get involved in the development of application-based software for the purpose of tracking, monitoring, and even curing illness, disease, etc.
I don't know. It just is. I don't know. It's weird hearing others say that to me, for some reason, I might be the crazy one in this scenario.
And so forth. I just have a lot of desires, and building websites is something I'm good at. Running any sort of AI consultation company is something I'd be good at. Even niche.
Basically, if you're too lazy to talk to ChatGPT, Heather will talk to ChatGPT for you, but you will still have to talk to Heather. So it's not really, I don't understand. It would probably be easier to talk to ChatGPT than Heather.
E-commerce sales is something I'd be good at. Content creation is something I'm great at. Campaigning and marketing and managing these campaigns, I'm fantastic at. But they keep on stealing my electronic communication devices, you know, so, and then putting me in a position where I don't have any.
They're stealing her phones?
Any sort of expendable income, like not even $250, which is fucking crazy to me. I don't understand how one day I can be trusted to go pick up $40,000 of cash and bring it from one location to the other location, but
whoever got her to do that? She's just talking about like I don't know, what's it called when you take the money out of the place and you go and you put it into the bank thing after work, emptying the till for the day or whatever. Is that what you're talking about? Or that sounds super sketchy. Someone was just like, go pick up this 40 grand and bring it over here. And Heather's like, oh, okay. That sounds like a fun time.
I can't be trusted to have my own MacBook Air. Like, what's really going on here?
I don't understand that. I don't understand that at all. Who's preventing her from having a MacBook Air?
You know, I can't get approved for a line of credit for 50 G's or 100,000.
What are you gonna do with $100,000?
You know, it doesn't make sense. But a person coming out of prison can get an Apple Card with a $20,000 credit limit 3 days after their release date. Like, what the fuck is really going on?
Who? What?
You know, and I have a million other questions just like that. But for now, that's what I have going on.
Deposits. I guess it's just called deposits.
I am behind on all my bills. So my cell phone is paid up to date. My car payment is paid up to date. My car insurance is paid up to date. But I am 2 weeks behind on my rent.
So we never pay November.
Fucking tripping about that.
Yeah, so we never pay November, or else we wouldn't be 2 months behind.
Every single day. I haven't.
Or wait. Maybe December? Usually you pay in advance, right? Normally, on the first of the month, rent's due, so she paid November. She didn't pay December. It took her till the end of the November to pay November's. She hasn't paid December's. That's what I'm understanding, I guess. What a crazy life. I pay my rent, like, I don't know, the 24th, usually. The latest I pay my rent is usually the 24th, but it's due on the 1st. I just get the fuck out of the way, you know what I mean? Fucking Heather's waiting until, when was this one? I can't remember. Let's see. 2 days ago. Just 2 weeks behind on rent, Jesus Christ.
Taking a day off in 10 months. 10 months. Last week I worked 55 hours, the week before 54 hours, and I'm not spending frivolously. So it's like, what the
well, I don't. I pay on the 24th because I'm a nice guy.
What the fuck is wrong with the world? And it's Christmas month, and then they just told me that I had to pay $200 for 2 new air filters and a new oil change, synthetic only, for my car. So I needed to pay $190 something, and then they gave me a $27 off coupon. Shout out to Jiffy Lube. But the point is, like, I need more money right away, and I have 4 children. So
shout out Axl Rose. What's another person Xavier shouts out?
If the money I'm making is just barely enough, we're doing a delivery to the projects. If the money I'm making is just barely enough to survive, then that's not good enough. I have 4 kids. Hi. Thank you. You know. So, anyways, now you guys know. I just wanted to give you an update.
I think the next one is the last one? Never go to Jiffy Lube? Don't go to Jiffy Lube, guys. Why'd she keep this like this? What is she doing? Did she not realize she didn't end? It's not bad. Oh, I don't have a scroll thing.
Okay, and then lastly,
What the fuck was that? What?
I'm pretty sure if you guys are familiar with my blog, Merciful Storm Wix site, Google Merciful Storm Wix, Heather Gillespie, scroll all the way to the bottom to my blog post from 2019, 2020. There's some wild shit in there, you guys, and it's all real. Really fucking crazy wild shit. I think they're trying to engineer Xavier into being like a Dylan number 2. They're making him cross-dress. Xavier and I don't do shit. We went out 2 times in the last month. Since I've met Xavier, we've only been out twice. Both of them have been in the last month, and they both have been in Boys Town. He cross-dresses. He's never done that before. And they're like going loosely based off of the blog post I wrote where I referred to Dylan as X. I referred to Dylan as X. I didn't even know Xavier at that time. And now Xavier everyone's referring to Xavier as X. So I feel like they're intentionally trying to cause a lot of...
I can't show it. I can't show it. Why did she put that? She put a picture of coitus happening. So I can't... this. Fuck.
A lot of confusion surrounding my case. But
I didn't know mercifulstorm.com was displaying. Thank God I didn't put this up on screen. Jesus Christ. When did she put this here? Forever ago? It's like a cartoon, but still. It doesn't say the date. I just scrolled all the way down to the bottom like she told me to.
I gotta go, you guys. Have a great night.
It's our 23rd court date. Just some boring stuff. I hope they don't make me cry today. They always...
They are gonna make you cry? This is from 2020. This is not from 20... Where's the stuff from 2019?
say lies that have already been disproven and make me feel like shit about myself. So hopefully there's none of that. I'm hungry. I also just gave all my money to my rent for December. So being a grown-up is the worst. I work 7 days a week and have no time for fun and can barely even have enough money to pay my things. So yesterday I had to pay $179 for an oil change and filters, and it's Christmas month and I have 4 children and I need to get them Christmas gifts. You guys already know what I've been saying about the leggings. You know, I had a bunch of sponsors, a lot of them, like 100 sponsors that were regularly contributing to and assisting with this effort. And where the fuck are they, you know? And every single time we get into a good groove of things, it's like, I didn't mean to say the F word, my bad. It's just like, I'm frustrated. It's been another 2 or 3 days since the big kids have...
Did she usually not say the F word?
Called me back or responded.
Did she fuck? Did she say fuck?
To text. Alexis, you know, my 12-year-old daughter had her birthday in September and has not... Cybertruck. And has not been able to call me for longer than like 2 or 3 minutes since that time. And I've been calling my attorney a lot of times also, and she hasn't been calling me back in like 3 weeks. So I don't know, I'm just feeling very isolated. It's me and Xavier.
The attorney's not hitting her back. That's not a good sign.
They took Xavier's link away. That was $300 worth of food groceries that we were getting every month for meal prep and cooking. So basically they just increased my expenses, put me on a payment plan for $5,000 towards the city of Chicago for red light tickets and speeding light tickets that was already paid multiple times. And so basically, yeah, they took away about $60 a day. I used to make about $60 a day more on average, sometimes even more than that, than I make now. And they took away Xavier's link, 300 of his link, which is groceries. So it's just been really bogus for us, and it feels like
fucking bogus, bro.
Very methodical, like they move with purpose, and it's not the first time. And when they start messing with my money,
why does Link get taken away? I don't know why. Why would they? But it's always an outside force. There's always someone's against them.
Is also when they start inhibiting or controlling externally communication with my children, and that to me is super suspicious. Like, are they also stealing my children's budget? You know,
for the parking tickets? She needs to pay the parking tickets.
Is more so my question. And then I'm on my way, as I said, to the 23rd court date, and I have a service plan in my trunk from the DCFS says that I've completed satisfactorily all of the services that they've ordered, and that Weston is supposed to go home.
Well, the government shut down. I thought that was a while ago. That would just affect him now? Or did it shut down again? That's not good.
At his birthday, which is...
But that has nothing to do... No, it's not like the government was like, all right, we're going to shut down because of Heather Gillespie. Like, that is completely... had nothing to do with her. But she's a narcissist.
February. They said the same thing.
And remember the crazy making behaviors. People make Team Heather go crazy.
Last year at his birthday, that he had a service plan to come home February of his birthday. I've had my living space ready to go since he was born, since we got there. You know, I got the pack and play, I got the little play.
Yeah, when he was born, you didn't have anything. You had a tent, and that was it.
And I got him toys, clothes, diapers, and literally, like, got everything ready immediately. So I really don't know, you know, what's going on or what the purpose of this court date is at all. But it's the 23rd of the court dates, so. No.
Oh, I thought she meant like it was affected here, like right around this time, but I guess not.
Nothing has changed. Hopefully they'll say something about the fact that there hasn't been a driver for our visits, our third visit of the week, for several weeks, but who knows. For the rest of this week, I have to try to catch up on my bills by literally just working all weekend.
If they have a car, do they need a driver? Like, can't they just drive to the appointments themselves? Maybe they found out she had a car and they're like, why are you even using this fucking service? Drive yourself here.
And then they said that my back brakes are going to be due in the next 2 or 3 oil changes. And I'm like, yeah, right. I just had my brakes done before I got this car. I got this car 4 months ago. I purchased this car from Hertz, actually through the Uber app. They find you financing and lenders, and then they make you an offer. I got approved for a Volkswagen Passat with $1,500 down. That was how much I was supposed to get for my federal income tax return last month. So I had it all ready that I was going to go and buy it. I mean, last year, I filed in like April. So it was May that I was going to get the check and go get the car, and they intercepted the whole entire $1,600 that I was owed.
They intercepted it.
And said that they were, what's that word? I don't know. They said that I don't owe anything left for tax that I've from the federal government. And they did. They took it. And so that was my car down payment. So I didn't get that car.
Do your taxes, man.
And then I rented for like another 3 months, and I had the Tesla, I had some sort of a Kia, I had another Nissan, I had a Honda Civic, or not a Civic, a Honda something. I had, I don't know, just like regular, like, you know, mid-grade cars, nothing special. Before that, when I had friends who sold cars, I would drive around in amazing cars. Maserati, Benz, Cadillac, Escalade and CTS, Porsche, Ferrari, Lamborghini, Bentley, Rolls-Royce, Infiniti.
All of them. Every single one. Lamborghinis. Did she say Lamborghini already?
But Now,
Ferraris.
I've just been, you know, operating cars at a mid-grade level because I'm delivering people food.
Her eyes are really like squinted again.
Food and human being passengers. So it's like would never make sense for me to drive a fucking Rolls Royce or a Maserati to deliver someone their lunch. So anyways, the point of the matter is all I do is work a lot, and I would appreciate it if the sponsors could figure out what went wrong, because everything in good working order, right? I had a
What? The sponsors are supposed to figure out what went wrong. They don't run your life. What do you mean? Like, what went wrong in the sponsors' lives that they can't just like give you hundreds of dollars for no reason anymore? Anyone who was doing that, seeing that it was going nowhere. I don't know, man. If your sponsors figured out what went wrong.
good,
What the fuck went wrong?
you know, budget that was working for my needs and the needs of my family and children and purpose and, you know, for
You remember the wheelchair?
those around me as well. And now it's just like getting, you know, a lot more difficult to use the money that I have to cover all of our needs. So if you could hurry up and kind of try to fix it right away, that'd be great.
If you could hurry up and try to fix it right away, sponsors, that'd be great. That'd be great. If you could get it done by 5, that'd be even better. Have it on my desk by the end of the day.
We need more money on this budget, for sure. And then on top of that, I have a need for a new device, as does Xavier. I have several iPhones that I need to get unlocked and factory restored. And I know
Where have you been stealing phones from?
how to do it myself, but my laptop was stolen. So I haven't had a laptop in months. Xavier hasn't had a laptop at all in the entire time I've known him.
So you want the sponsor to get your laptop?
And I've had 2 or 3 laptops stolen. And then someone cracked my phone, my main phone, my iPhone. Someone cracked the fiberglass on the back while I was asleep overnight. So I don't know what the hell's been going on, but you know, what the hell?
Xavier's just his little side eyes in the corner. I think Xavier's up to something.
That's about it. I'll let you guys know what happens after court. I really don't even know what this court is for. But we're on our way. Babe, do you want to say hi?
Look it up. She's questioning all her life choices.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
court, work, gym. Hopefully court is quick because I don't have
This is your man, Heather Gillespie. This is your guy. This is the guy you chose. I don't know. Crazy. I guess no one else is gonna put up with it, right?
hours to sit in here going through the same BS. And I don't have time to waste right now. I get paid by the
Yeah, they stole a wheelchair from a hospital so Xavier could push Heather around him when she was pregnant so she didn't have to, like, do anything.
order, not by the hour, you know? So I need to be delivering these orders. But anyways, you guys have a great day. And pray for us. Pray or talk to Satan, Lucifer, whomever is running the world here.
You're right on that. I'll talk to Satan just for you.
Because, I don't know, I think I've definitely lost faith in God. Just look around you. Oh, God. What goes on?
We're almost done, guys. The next one's only 2 minutes, but most of it's just nothingness, so we're like probably 30 seconds to finish. There's 2 seconds left of this one.
Yeah. All right.
So this is the last one. She's in the gym, but she doesn't say anything for the first like minute, longer than that, actually. The minute 30 seconds in. It's only 2 minutes stream.
Last night I get home right at 8 and I say, I'm exhausted. I just got done going to court for custody of my son, Weston. At which point, with the proof in their hands, the state of Illinois blatantly denied its existence. So holding testimony.
And that's where it cuts. And we haven't heard from Heather since. So, blatantly fucking whole withholding, and then it's gone. And it's gone. It's gone. Let me see. I think I screenshotted the thing that I wanted to read for you guys. I did. So I'll just airdrop it real quick here. Why would I airdrop it to myself? That makes sense. I mean, why would I airdrop it to the same phone? That makes no sense. I don't see it here. Tahoe, like, really fucking sucks, bro. It's annoying. Very annoying. Okay. Preview also sucks. I'll just pop it open on a new tab here. So we can do this. Do you want to, like... See this? See how it's all zoomed in? That's a Tahoe
Fuck up,
shit.
fuck down, or fuck any fucking way for that matter. How about everyone just stops fucking for a while? It's Christmas.
At Cindy_Lou_102. Super chatted $2. Love Feral Friday. Thank you, Steve. Purple heart, purple heart, purple heart.
Oh, thank you, Cindy. Thank you for the 2. I appreciate you guys. So this is what Loco Coco posted. So this is just a little bit of an update. Here, I'll zoom in for a bit. So it says, I know everyone is super worried about Rico. Got a little bit of info. The case is continuing, but Rico's side has some major wins in the past few days. There is a lot she's not complying with despite her saying she is, and it's working against her, praying it'll be over soon. They have been dragging it out, but with doing what she cannot say. Hold on. We're gonna be over soon. They have been dragging it out, but with doing that, she cannot say that they were unfair or nefarious, and didn't give her a chance. That's true. That is true. The truth is she doesn't care and isn't complying with the request by the court. So that is the update. The update we got. Other than that, that's it, you guys. That's it. That's it for Feral Friday. Like, there's a spider. There's a spider over there. But I appreciate you guys. I'll see you next Feral Friday. If you're just a Heather Gillespie person, if you're a Brick person, I'll see you tomorrow. And if you're a member, then I'll see you probably some amount of time in between that. Sooner than later, probably. Anyways, I hope you guys have a great night. I hope you guys have a great weekend too. And the holidays are coming up, so I hope you're staying warm, and I hope that you're not spending too much, and everything's good in your lives. I'll see you next time. Toodaloodles. Take care, guys.